they basically, with the information from the AI, they made a vaccine that they use mRNA to make a vaccine that basically taught the dog's immune system how to combat the tumor and the cancer.
Specifically
and I believe it removes
targeted.
like 60% or 70% of it.
Here's my thing though, like a lot of these robots I see, it kind of looks like you're living with somebody who has a severe drug addiction. Like they're terribly slow, they can't do anything well.
Yeah, but you know that's initial put, like that's in the next 5-10 years that's going to get exponential. It's an exponential growth. It's just going to
give it 2 years, they'll be breaking sprint records. And it's like when you get that sub in school that everybody immediately knows they can just walk over.
Yeah,
it's exactly what it is.
It's not a joke.
Yep. Oh, we can just do whatever we want today. Kids are evil.
Yeah,
Bro,
they are.
Kids are crazy now.
I mean, I was a kid and I know how bad I was. It's not.
It's different.
You get a sub and you'd be like, oh yeah, we're doing what we want today.
Yeah.
It listens to their interaction and then writes the notes for him. A machine that listens and writes. What it does is it wraps that whole administrative complexity for him in an interface so simple.
Why are you shaking your head no?
No way, dude.
Explain.
Why not?
Where is the patient confidentiality with that?
This guy in particular, Steve Brown, he's also making he's already made it. It's a company called CureWise, which basically he had a cancer, but a rare type, and all the doctors that looked at his case missed it and was blaming it, I believe, on stress and gas and other things. And so he's
when you got gas, I mean, that shit sucks.
DNA, his own team of medical experts like humans. But then he also had an AI running his own AI team of agents, which also acted as different medical experts in different fields, analyzing all of his data about him, his cancer, his issues. And it picked up on things that the doctors originally missed and said, you should go back, you should ask for this specifically, tell them that they've missed this, this, and this. And he's ended up finding it and been able to get rid of it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. I don't have any viewers yet, but nonetheless, if you're watching this afterwards, appreciate you watching. Got an interesting discussion today. Going to be talking about AI and how it's probably going to end with all of us dying or just being controlled by AI sex robots and their owners. Got another guest today.
We got something good for that.
Quex has joined us today. Can't show his face. He might not have one. Maybe that's why. But
he is AI. That's why.
Yeah,
he's the AI handler.
But yeah, that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so a lot of what I put forth, because we've touched on it, we touched on it briefly last episode, 2 weeks ago, whatever, when you were with Ty, you touched upon like the robot. That's not mainly what we're getting into, but and me and Quex have had conversation with, because my mother's a teacher. She's been an educator for a long time on a college level. And she's dealing with it now, AI. And that's just one aspect. My family's in healthcare too. That's another aspect we'll get into. It's really the good, the bad, the ugly of what we feel AI is doing. And
the good's pretty limited.
I don't. And that's my thing. I don't particularly like AI. Like, I know from talking to Quex, like he's used it, he's well versed in it. He's helped me a lot with it, with answers to things. And he also has a computer background, so not, he's a smart dude.
Freshy.
But more than us is what and that's a big thing. A lot of what I will never claim to be on this or any platform is an expert in any field. I got a touch of the tism. I, stick my hands in a lot of things, probably where they shouldn't be. But where I wanted to start was with like the good, and especially in education. I think I'm not talking about robots teaching our kids like you guys talked about. Like it's not that. And but I think the ability, and Quex can chime in on this. He's currently building an app for and this is why it's passionate to me too. One, from my mother, two, from me dealing with like ADHD growing up and stuff. He's building an app for like ADHD. Along those lines, he knows more than me. And where AI can specifically help teachers in schools in that like meta-analysis or data whatever you want to say. And I'll let you talk in a second, but that like, so whether you know it or not, like the government's obviously very invested in this, and the U.S. Department of Education has a whole PDF going into it. It's still surface level. Like I'll just share it for a second, like to give you an overview, if this works, of some of the things I've highlighted a lot. It's a lot to read, but it's pretty good, I think. Deal with me here. Oh, I can click that. Sorry, Jay's usually the one. So this is the document name. In the future, teaching and learning, which is cool too, because we can get into this later, and like job markets and AI taking over jobs, and that's where I think it's potentially a very bad, like, could be guiding us to some weird shit. So it touches on all this. I wish I had bookmarked it, but there was some things like tutoring. So that's one of the big things, individualized tutoring. It can see and track through test scores, through whatever, and it can individualize tutoring, if I could talk, to the specific child. Now there's no more like my kids have been in tutoring, like for their standardized testing, right? You get towards the end of the year, they're like at certain grade levels here where I live, you have a standard, and it's whether you move on or not. And they're very blanket. Like you can just tell because how they go in, they have to assess your child. They have to, okay, this is like where AI could be, bam. We need to specifically go on this. He can move faster in this. And that's also where I think I have it highlighted around here somewhere. Like for, neurotypical and not neurodiverse learners, where me and Quex have had a deep conversation on this, is where me going through school when I was younger, a big part of what hurt me was certain things I would get and I fully understood, but they extend that teaching. Like I already got it. And so I lose complete focus. I'm done. ADHD. Like, oh, I get it. I'm on to the next thing. But in class and on homework, you're still on the same thing. So you lose your connection, you lose the challenge, you lose all of that. And then you end up fucking off. And then all of a sudden they're in another thing and you were fucking off and you missed it. And now like, so it's that like limbo thing I always kind of felt growing up in the school system. And I had an IEP. I was in an individual education program, and they definitely did help, but I could imagine, like, I won't read it, but like, so I mean, it's in parentheses, but students who access, process, and interact with the world in less common ways than neurotypical students, who could benefit from different learning paths. That's the big thing for me, in forms of display and input to fit their strengths. Because I think more so now they're learning, ADHD, if channeled properly, they're very high, can be very high functioning people, very intelligent and smart. It's just keeping that going. But this document, it's worth a look. Maybe we can start trying to link some of the documents. It's very topographical, but it's very deep. And it goes to, which is my belief, is keeping teachers. Like it has to be teacher and student centric. And yeah, I mean, I want to keep this surface level. Like we're trying to get base ideas here, but in a lot of things, I think it is, and maybe you guys have input on the education side of things, to where, and another big thing for it, is that on the teacher side, and it says it in that document, I should have pulled it up, is like AES, which was automated essay scoring. Like it goes back to the 60s. But now when you think of it, like, if you think of a teacher, depending on school size, class size, like, you guys have to do essays or even a test with a long form answer, not necessarily an essay. It becomes really hard for the teacher. And then all the admin side, like, if you can envelop all of that for the teacher and take a lot of, I'm sure you guys, I'm a little older, not that much older, but it used to be hand grade books and
Yep.
even on the
Report
computer, you're
cards.
still doing that. But if it's all enveloped, all of the admin side is taking out of the specific teacher's job, then they can like, not necessarily individual, but they can spend more time with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
It'll be like an assistant to them.
exactly. And I think, among other things, it could be extremely useful for teaching kids, but the use of AI by people, we'll get into this later in the bad side of things, is now I think has detrimental effects.
In education.
Yes, in
Yeah.
educate. Yes.
Yeah.
So like the use
100%.
of a
That's what I think.
tool, yeah. Should it be the teacher? No. Should it be implemented as a tool? I think it would be incredibly beneficial, incredibly good in that. But what do you guys like, educationally speaking?
Sure.
I don't think it's a very good idea. Like, if you can limit it to those roles to where it's helping the teacher, I think that's good. That's definitely a benefit. I also think there's something to be said, though, that teaching is often a backup job is also a huge problem. I know people who are teachers who love being teachers and they love their job.
Well, they
But
don't
there's
pay enough.
also
At the
teachers
end
are
of the
making
day,
good money nowadays. And
oh really?
in
Okay.
in my area, it's not the way it was when I grew up. Teachers are
Okay.
making a living nowadays. Like,
Okay.
it's
I didn't
not,
know that.
but my thing is most teachers, it's an easy fallback job. You don't have to have a degree. You just need something. And you can't get a job in your field, so what do? You go teach. There's that common saying, I'll just go teach. So, I mean, yeah, could AI help? But at the end of the day, if you have somebody who they didn't want to be a teacher, but it pays the bills, it pays good, you only have to work 9 months out of the year. I think that's a large portion of that issue too. And then from the student side, I don't think you learn anything. It's so easy to cheat with AI. And
Yes, and that's what we'll get into, and that was, a big thing that I'll save for later too, that my mom dealt with, not necessarily cheating, but we'll get into that. So I'm not really thinking of it of that way, and that's
right.
something the document talks to, is that, yeah, AI can be a good tool, but in America, a lot of the situation, at least in America, I don't know, like, it's good we have Quex here, but a lot of the problem is still systemic. Like, it's still
Mhm.
on the policy side. It's still on, we tried to put these things in, no kid left behind, whatever. There's still an issue when it comes to that. And anyone who has kids in school, whether it's your kids or someone else, like, you can see this. It's better than when I was a kid, but it's still the school system isn't there.
Have you seen how these kids do math nowadays? It's crazy.
But here's the thing on
Can't
that too.
help
Sorry.
them. I can't help them. I know how to find the answer, but I can't help.
The side question is some of the shit they teach him to do. I go, no. Here's the way I used to do it. And he's like, oh, this is, but given, I think my eldest is ADHD or somewhere like me, but when I can explain it to him, he's like, oh, that's so much easier.
Yep.
Because the shit they're
Mine
doing
sound
is
the
this.
same
And
way.
I'm
Yep.
like, what?
Somebody just called me out and accused me of using AI for my classes. I would never admit to that. But to hit on that, these schools, and I bet you can ask your mom about this, the main program they use to detect AI in essays and stuff is Turnitin. And it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, teachers have to use their own discernment because this model's off so often. It
Yes.
flags anytime you cite something, your entire site is going to be flagged. Like, I had a paper I did not use
It's not
AI.
right. It's not right.
And
like,
it flagged 60% of my paper.
Yeah.
So I'm freaking out. I turn it in, a day before. I'm freaking out, messaging my teacher, like, this says it's 60%. And she's like, I read it over. It's fine. But like, we're, so stuff like that, it's like, is it even helping the teacher when they have to go back in and review it themselves? Like, what if they don't do that and they just say, oh, it flagged it at 60%. Now
you're done. And then you get
Yeah.
kicked out of school for it. And it's just like,
Yes.
maybe I have such a brain that it can take in data like AI. Like, there's people like that are just very so fucking dink, 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 dink analytics, dink, 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 and they write out and they speak that way even. And it's like, yeah, that, and now they lose a scholar. I don't know if it's to that level. Like, don't come after me, people, but like, you lose a scholarship because you're flagged for, AI on a big thesis.
I mean, it's just like cheating. You cheat on something like that, you're done. But I will say it's easy to notice when somebody does it haphazardly. Like I can tell in discussion posts when somebody copy and pasted the discussion post and then copy and pasted the input the AI gave them, because they all read the same.
Well, that's also, I just spit on myself, lazy AI users. Because like Quex can chime in on this. Like, he has so much put in some of the times, like when he sends me stuff, like his AI puts out, like, it's talking like and typing like Quex, like slang or anything. And it's like, no, that was my AI that said that. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, it's actually kind of scary in a way what they're capable of. But it's just down to how you use it, man.
Yeah.
As for schools, I don't even think kids should be let anywhere near it. To be honest, it needs to be like a tool, in my opinion, for the teacher. So especially with the ones that their heart ain't really in it, this is gonna do a lot of the work where it will at least give them time to actually pay attention to things. So then certain kids that might have ADHD or might have a little touch of autism or whatever learning difficulties they may have, the AI can spot certain patterns quicker than a human can. And
yes,
that combats people like me finding out you got ADHD when you're like 30 years old,
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Can you bump your volume? It was good before. Can you bump your volume just a hair?
Yeah, that better.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Yeah, and I agree with that. And that's what we'll get into is, I didn't pull it up. I should have. My fault. That there's been studies of people using AI, and we'll get into that in the bad. Or maybe we can get into it now. Talking about education, the bad of it, right? I feel
I
like
hit on one thing.
Yep, go for it.
Just to kind of go back to what you guys are saying about, people with ADHD and how they're hyper focused. I think that says something too about the education system, especially when you get into that college level too. Like, how much time do you have to invest into getting your core classes done and shit you're just completely uninterested in? And it's not related to your field either. You'll never use anything you learn in those classes.
And that's my biggest thing for someone with ADHD is touching specifically on that. Now, on top of that you get it, you understand it, right? So that learning aspect, because that is kind of enticing to a lot of people with ADHD, is that like, oh, this is a challenge. This is like, I want to figure this out. Well, now, boom, you were hyper vigilant on something and got ahead of the course material, and you're in a 3-month course and you're just drooling on yourself because you still gotta do this. You still gotta do this specific essay or this specific, what do they call it? Curriculum or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just drooling and you're done. And then your motivation as an ADHD person is gone. And then, everything. So your work starts to fail because you're just like, man, like droning, just getting it by.
Dopamine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the plus sides. The negative side, to me, one of the biggest of AI in education is like Queck said, like, is the use. Like, you can do variables of it. You can tell AI, say, I need a bunch of sources on biology. But you're not telling AI to answer the specific question. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
that's a
saying,
great use of it.
yeah, you're saying I need these sources on, whatever,
Whatever topic.
anything in biology. I'm being stupid right now. But you're not having it answer a question for you. Because I think that's so important as humans to build creativity, to build problem solving, to build information, like being able to take apart information. Whereas these kids nowadays know how to use it to answer it. And they read the answer and they're getting good enough now to, okay, I don't want to get hit for AI. I don't want to get tagged for AI. So they just see that answer and then they just reword it in their own words. They did no research. They didn't go through any information and decipher, oh, I want to put this in. This is my idea. No, it's AI's idea. You told them to come up with something and now you're just, and I think that's so detrimental on all levels, not just education, is where problem solving, creativity, all these things they're going to start taking away from us as human beings, and we're going to be like you see in the movies, like Idiocracy and shit, fucking drooling on ourselves and just oh, I need to make a decision. No, I can't. My AI will make that decision. Like
People start thinking for themselves.
Yeah. And so I'm sure people could have other inputs, which, of course, I particularly, I know you guys are good about getting inputs on it. And I know we don't have the biggest viewership, but if people want to leave comments on it, I'm sure there's plenty more to it. But surface level, I feel there's so much good that can be done with AI in education. But when used by the students, I think it's no, like, do what I had to do. Like,
Right.
go to pull out an encyclopedia, go look for specific books, that's teaching you to decipher information and know how to solve problems. And
even that, even just cutting that out is such a huge help. That's how I've
Yeah.
used it. You saying that, reminded me I had to write a paper and I was writing it on, the benefits of strength training in youth. So I got on AI and I was like, give me peer reviewed sources. I did a bunch of different stuff, anaerobic training, strength training in youth, and that stuff. And just cutting out the time to find
to
all that stuff
search.
yourself is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. And that's where, again, I shouldn't say all uses of it are bad for the student, but it's hard to control. Like, that
Yeah.
is
It
so
can
much
100%
better.
be abused.
Yes, because it's giving the students so much more time to decipher that information and do it instead of like what we had to do. Back in the days, search Google. Oh, that's a bullshit post.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit. Okay, let me go to the library and find an old book. Before there was these big databases, like specific in this. Oh, I can pull from this and I have to cite it. Like, I feel like that's a superpower to the student. And something
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
would agree
touch
with
on
that.
is studying tools. Like,
Mhm.
AI makes incredible studying tools for standardized testing and stuff, like where it can decipher what you're doing and you can have it build you a study guide and it sees, oh, you're getting these wrong, you're getting this series right. Okay, we're going to put in less, just put in check on learnings type thing, military term, but like put them in there to keep it fresh in your brain. But we need to focus this, and it can do this ever evolving study guide. Another plus that I had skimmed over, it is in that document. It's worth a read, especially if you have kids. And I know your kids are a little older than mine, Jay, but mine are still young. So I foresee, in their high school days, like it really being a thing. I think the next, and I've said this, for a while, not just talking about AI, next 5 to 10 years, global economics, AI, geopolitical is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, you're gonna have a robot in every house.
Yeah. Well, that's
already started.
the thing.
Buy one
Didn't
now
you
for
pull
like
it up, Quex?
$20,000. Which one? The woman?
That, oh no, I found it. I don't have it. That some company, again, it does relate to AI. I should have kept it pulled up. It's more robotics, but
It's all the same stuff.
planning on amping up their production to 1 million robots per year.
The Sean Ryan clip.
Is it the Sean? Yeah, and that they'll one robot per person. That's probably why you said okay. Yeah, and that's crazy.
That does not sound like a good idea.
Yeah, but they've already got robots with AI for household. uses that can do your dishwasher, water your plants, do your laundry, cook for you, and that's like for $500 a month.
We're going to Wall-E. We're going to be like Wall-E.
Yeah.
Basically.
Here's my thing though,
iRobot.
like a lot of these robots I see, it kind of looks like you're living with somebody who has a severe drug addiction. Like they're terribly slow. They can't do anything well. They
Yeah, but
fall
you know
over all
that's
the time.
that's initial put. Like that's in the next
Oh, yeah.
5-10 years, that's going to get exponential. It's an exponential growth. It's just going to get.
Give it 2 years, they'll be breaking sprint records and stuff.
Or maybe you
Yeah.
sent it to me, Jordan. Sorry, it was you who sent it to me. I didn't find it. You sent it to me. But yeah,
Way to take credit.
I know. No, I corrected myself. I'm good.
I'm
at
just
that.
kidding.
But yeah, any more on education? Like, I think that
No,
surface
I think-
level. I think there's more we could dive into it, but that's kind of how
I think
feel.
we would pretty much hit it. It has the potential to be incredibly good, but it also has the potential to be incredibly misused,
Yeah.
which is most likely what's going to happen.
Well, it
when we're
already
talking
is.
about teenagers.
Yeah.
using it.
Yeah, we're already is. You know, and again, I spoke to I said we had saved the bad, but since I decided to do it with each individual, my mom's an educator and she does graduate level courses for like leadership and health and in healthcare, like the both. And she had gotten a review and it bothered her. She is extremely passionate. She is extremely successful in what she did. And so like, she asked me and I could tell it bothered her. And I conferred with Quex because he knows like leaps and bounds more than me. But one of the reviews she got was, you know, well, the assignments you give can easily be done by AI. And, you know, she's older.
Yeah.
She's 70
Mhm.
years old. So she's pretty like up to date on, for the most part, about technology and stuff because she's been in these fields for so long. But it bothered her, and to me, Quex was able to break it down more. But like to me, it's just like, yeah, anything unless it's practical exercises where you're asking someone like, we're here, and I can ask you, Jay,
Unless it's
and
a lab.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
can see you in that, well, especially in a leadership position. In that position, you don't have time to write a response. I come to you and say, listen, you know, talking about a parent, like, listen, you know, your kid came to you and told you that, you know, this, and this, what are you going to do? And it's in the moment and I'm watching you. You don't have time to put it into AI. I think that's important for leadership things.
100%.
Yeah,
But, like-
they need to learn how to think critically on the spot, under pressure.
Mhm.
in the moment.
Exactly. And not be able to confer with, you know, because
Yeah.
as a leader in most fields, there's going to be situations where it's not an email. It's not a let me think and get back to you. It's a no, in this moment, something's happening. I need you. And that's what I fear AI is going to do to people. They're going to be like, hey, Grok, like, no, then I have no confidence in you as a leader. I need to see how you talk to me in a leadership course. I need to see how you handle yourself, how you do this. Like, I mean, a lot of that is military backed, but a lot of it is just innate in us and people. Like, if someone's not confident in talking and, yeah, well, you know, Jay, I think you shouldn't have punched your coworker.
It's like when you get that sub in school that everybody immediately knows they can just walk over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it
It's
is.
not a joke.
Yep. Oh, we can just do whatever we want today. Kids are evil.
Yeah,
Bro,
they are.
Their kids are crazy now as well.
I mean, I was a
We
kid
were
and I know how
young,
bad
man.
I was. It's not,
Yeah.
It's different.
You
I
get
think
a
it's a
sub and you'd be
different
like,
level,
oh yeah,
but,
we're
like-
doing what we want today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And specifically speaking to that, I told her, and Quex had some good insight on it, but at the end of the day, I think graduate level, like leadership courses shouldn't be online.
No, anything,
Like-
in my opinion, and it depends what it is. Like I'm going for exercise science. I don't think you should be able to get a master's degree in exercise science. A bachelor's, yes, because what are you going to do with a bachelor's, right? You're going to have an entry level job. A master's degree in
Nowadays,
exercise,
especially. Nowadays, bachelor's doesn't mean shit. You could end up working construction, dude. Like,
no, like realistically, you'll end up an assistant somewhere, or maybe head of like something in a high school. Nothing crazy. A master's degree in exercise science. Now you're talking about somebody who's eligible to work as a college,
yeah.
as like a strength and conditioning coach or something. You shouldn't be able to do that without having hands-on. But you are seeing a lot of online schools move away from virtual labs, though. And my brother who's in this chat can attest to this. My school sends you a lab kit and you have to do it at home and you have to video yourself doing it. I have to upload.
Is he a big vagina like you, or is he actually cool?
He's actually really smart. He's an engineer. He's
Shit.
actually currently an engineer and he's going to get his
All right, I
higher
can't talk shit
engineering
anymore.
degree. But he has to go out of state to North Dakota to do his labs. So he, even though he's done with the
That's
class,
good. Yeah.
he's not done
He
until
has to
he
go
goes
do
and
all the
does his
labs.
labs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
It's
where
that way they know you understand it, they know you've learned it.
Yep.
You can actually
exactly.
do it in an
It's
actual
the
scenario.
practical. And that's also in that document, is that the use for practical and the use for a person being there and putting eyes on someone and being like, yeah, well, I think it's important whether you plan on being a leader or anything in your life, like leadership training, I think is, and it can start very young, is extremely important for everyone. One, to be able to spot a good leader and not and make decisions for themselves in the workplace. But there's certain things, yeah, I think, even for you, like knowledge-based stuff could be done online, where it's a very specific and you have to go and do a proctored test a little more. I agree with that more than like Blackboard. I still think someone can have a separate computer and putting
100%.
but like, even if it's proctored, I have to go to this place once a month to do my standardized knowledge, for certain things in biology that don't have to do with the labs. Like you have to know what this muscle is, what this joint is, what this is this. Okay, that we can teach online, and we're leaving it up to the student to kind of study and learn these things. And you have a standardized test, whatever, for the course, and it's proctored. You're not able to do it in your own home because, listen, we've all been there. I've taken bullshit classes, whether it's, we'll say, military classes that are supposedly controlled. I just have another computer there, type in the question, bam, get the answer, put it in. Like I'm not, and we've all done it, especially click through the class, the slides, not listening, doing something else. Oh, I can click next on the slide. I can click next on it. Oh, here comes the test. Supposedly you can't do it on your own computer. Like, let's be serious.
There's ways around it.
Yeah.
I will say though, with a lot of the science-based degrees, yeah, you could cheat your way through college, but you're also going to have to get certain qualifications, certificates, licenses to do your
Yes.
job, and you can't really
It's practical.
cheat those ones.
Yeah, it's practical. Like, and that's where there's the safe fall, and we'll that actually is perfect transition, Jay. Thank you, into the medical field with AI. Is you still have your residency, you still have this where it's and it can be tough depending where you are.
Yes.
They'll bounce fucking quick. Like, oh no, safe. That was like, what do you do? You're gone. So going in, that was the next thing where I am very, when it comes to medical, we'll move out of education. We're not getting medical personnel, whether it's surgeons, doctor, whatever. We're going into specifically the medical side. And I have a few clips of this because, sure, to me, I'm the tizzy boy out of the family, everyone. So
You're the outlier.
Yeah, show a few clips of this. There's two from one guy giving a TED talk. Sometimes like TED Talks, sometimes think they're bullshit, but this is the first one that I wanted to play from him. Okay, I have to like double click shit. Okay, no, I'm just special. Sorry.
Got this.
Oh, entire screen. Okay, here we go. So this is the first one. Is it loud enough?
I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Better?
Nope, can't hear it.
Well, what the fuck does it pull audio from?
Did you click share audio?
Which side is sharing your screen? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm new here.
No big deal.
Maybe I tab not in tow. Also share audio. Oh, okay. Now it should work. Let's see if I pull it back enough. Let me know if this is good.
Of all, the $4.5 trillion
Can you hear it?
bill that healthcare led in America
Okay.
every year is a bit worse.
I went back a little too far.
But why?
Quality
And
is
everything-
horrible.
No, it's complexity. In healthcare, we have never slain the demon of complexity. You see, in other parts of the economy,
It's good right now.
like technology or consumer goods, there are patterns and modes of thought like standardization, automation, playbooks that enable us to simplify what we're doing by doing the same thing over and over again. My Apple Watch is a great example of this, a tremendously complicated device, and yet one of millions of identical devices. That standardization enables Apple to make the device at low cost and high quality. But in healthcare, we are the product. And there's no such thing as a standard human. Heck, I don't even know what size my
biggest
shoe is
thing.
half the time.
I mean, not the shoe size.
And so everything we've learned and applied in the rest of the economy about simplification doesn't work in healthcare. And the cruel irony is that those new specializations of physicians, those new instruments.
So basically what he was talking about was we've had so many crazy advancements, you know, whether it's detection, you know, tests, new things, but it's not making the healthcare industry better. It's adding to the complexion of it all. So it's just adding more layers for everyone to have to decipher. And that'll lead, it goes into his next thing about how AI is, and it was similar to the teacher aspect, how AI could be used for extreme good in healthcare. I know Quex has stuff to piggyback off I hit play without sharing screen. I'm dying too. Window. Why does it always want to turn off audio? Okay, that's fine. All right. Same guy, just later in the speech.
And that mode of wrapping complexity is what we need in healthcare.
This is a little bit of a longer video, but
My friend
this
David,
really
he's a
puts
primary
into
care
the
physician,
practice here.
one of the most mission-centered
not
and
that long,
hardworking
don't
people
worry.
I've ever met. He used to see between 20 and 30 patients a day in his practice. And then he would go to his computer and write notes about all of those interactions into the electronic medical record. Those notes feed the leviathan of healthcare administration. All of the revenue cycle, insurance claims, billing, government compliance, regulation, legal disputes, quality, everything comes from those notes. Now, David has an AI. It's on his phone and sits on the table while he's consulting with his patients. It listens to their interaction and then writes the notes for him. A machine that listens and writes. What it does is it wraps that whole administrative complexity for him in an interface so simple.
Why are you shaking your head no?
No fucking way, dude.
Explain.
Why not?
Where is the patient confidentiality with that? You're telling me,
but I'm saying if you think with your insurance and a lot of the shit he's saying, there's no confidence.
Yes, but you're talking. Listen, all I'm saying is, if I go into the doctor's office and he's got his phone there recording our conversation going in.
No, you're looking into the bigger thing. Yes,
you gotta remember, Jay.
Because
it's not like they're kind of using ChatGPT to do this. If like the healthcare started to do that and say hospitals and GPs, they're not gonna go and use OpenAI. They might use OpenAI, but they're not gonna use ChatGPT. They would have their own, more than likely have their own local model.
Right, they got something that was made for them.
So then all that
it's
data
closed.
that's getting stored in it, it's all
Yeah.
maintained by them. As
I
the
get
rest
that.
of
I
our
still
health
don't like
records
it,
would
though.
be, you know?
And
yeah, they are a risk for that shit as well.
Yeah,
For those things as
and that
well.
was another thing in the education that document said is like there's a middle ground where you have to keep privacy. But he goes in, now he's seeing 60 to 7 patients a day. Like so much of a doctor's time is taken up with bullshit. Like I have a cousin who's an ER doc, and you know, I'd someday love to get his input, but like ER, and that's why you see little tangent why you see so many, excuse me, sorry, not emergency rooms. What's the privatized ones? Not all
Urgent care.
urgent cares. You see them everywhere because back in the day, everything went to the emergency room. And it's like, well, I still have to, at least as a doctor, you don't always have to be there because you have PAs and NPs and stuff. But I have to go back and look and say, yeah, okay, I'll clear this guy to leave. I'll clear what you're suggesting as here. But you're still putting in all that time for a kid who had a marble stuck up his nose. Meanwhile, there's 20 people waiting to get taken in with an arterial bleed. I'm being ridiculous here, but just to paint a picture. And that's where is more of what he's saying is not, and I get the confidentiality thing, and that's where there is a middle ground where, as Quick said, it's a closed system. It's something specific to the hospital. And what he's referring to here is all stuff that's going to see everything anyways. Your health insurance, compliance, all that stuff like that if something is pulled into question, that's all seen. They need to know the full extent of it in order, unfortunately, I think, health insurance, big pharma is a farce. And
you're not going to get me for probably any of this stuff today to say it's a good idea. And the only reason is because the benefits at the beginning is just going to be used to push it further.
No, but I mean, we can get into that. Yes. And I agree to where we'll get
and also
into that.
who's programming the programmer, right? Like that's the old thing.
I mean, yes.
At the end of the day,
we'll get into this, Jordan, but this is theoretical in a perfect environment. Like,
I also don't
it's
trust
completely
people with
controlled.
arms that skinny.
Well, a lot of nowadays, actually, a lot of doctors are getting, but anyways, we'll get into that. I want to save that till the end. We'll get into that.
Did I derail us?
No, you didn't. We'll get into that.
All right, I'll get better at it.
Again,
I even got something for you anyway.
I don't need to play the rest of this, but that was specifically what this was about, was giving, same as the teacher, taking all this extra shit away from the doctor. I'll let you go into your thing, Quex, and then I have one more thing that'll probably piss Jordan off even more. So go ahead. Let me stop sharing. No, just in what you were saying. Go ahead.
If he doesn't trust it in that sense, like with the AI taking notes, share, what do you feel about it with things like diseases then? There's patterns and things that the AI could spot that a human might not be paying enough attention to. Regardless of what it is, yeah.
That's my next
clip.
clip.
Same way you'd have like a board of humans looking at somebody's medical records and their illness and what to do. They could also be doing that while having the AI do the same thing. But
higher a little more, Quex, just to bump it up again.
The AI is going to be doing it so much more faster than they are. So that's not really a bad thing. There's no negatives that come from that. And then when you look at creating cures or treatments, the AI can do like 100 years of work in like 10. So
we'll save that, Quex.
I can't come from it.
I know you have something on that. I just want you set me up for a spike, just to get Jay rolling a little bit. It's similar to that, but you'll like this. You won't like this, but here.
David now sees between 60 and 70 patients a day.
Wait.
An unimaginable increase in his productivity and decrease in the
too much is happening.
Experience.
On video.
Sorry, I'm new at this, guys.
When will it be malpractice? There's people who use AI who aren't good. We're out of time, but I'm do a survey of the four of you real quick. Here's the question. When will it be malpractice to diagnose a patient without AI in the loop? Your answer: within 5 years, within 10 years, within 20 years, or never? I'm going to start with you.
I would say within 5 years.
Within 5 years.
1 year.
Within 1 year, to be some of these complicated diagnoses.
Dumb answer.
Search it; it's right
I
there.
mean, a lot of these guys are in the
I would say
medical. One of
it
them
is
runs
possible,
Whoop.
though.
I would say
One of them's
within
doctor.
5 years, when the legal system of
And the things that they're doing with AI. and
Forgive my
medical
internet.
field
calls is a different question. Peter, how would you
it
answer
could
it?
be
How would you?
I'm going to push it hard as I can, as soon as I
20
can.
minutes?
Yeah, I think within 5 years is my answer.
So, but that's, you know, again, that is one of the superpowers of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to take in. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not. But knowing them, there's so much information. There's so many different diagnoses that, you know, you have these symptoms, you have these symptoms. Like, oh, here's one of 10 things it can be, right? Well, now you're bumping it off, and now, like, okay, so you're still doing the work, but now you put it into the AI, and the AI says, well, yeah, it could be this, but you should seriously test. And sometimes that's all it takes. You need to not just treat it as this thing that you're saying it is. Why don't you test for this?
Yeah.
Bam, they test for that.
Why even have the doctor?
It's sepsis.
Just have both.
Because, well, and a big
But why
thing,
do you
yes,
need the doc? Why do you need the doc?
because you need a face, especially right now. Maybe in the future you don't.
Now, maybe
You need a
but
face.
5
The
years from now.
expertise. You just don't want to just leave the AI to do everything on its
That
own.
in
It still needs
the AI,
control.
especially, I mean, again, it is now, isn't reading your face, isn't, and they'll get there. I mean, they're already kind of there, but isn't
Mhm.
there talking to you and seeing your body and seeing, like, they already have, you know, AI that can look at your eyes and see you're under stress or, but
I do think there's interesting, definitely potential for AI to solve diseases and stuff that allegedly we haven't, you know, cancers and stuff like that. The ability for it to do research and stuff. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
we'll put it in Quex's court here, because he found a few things in where, again, it's just where it can run all these tests, and you can put in a specific genetic
Mhm.
sequence and say this is happening, this, and what it would take you and a team of doctors 20 years to do, it's doing in the matter of a year or less. And he had something specific
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this to where
AI has entered the lab and it's decoding life itself,
yeah.
one protein at a time. It's designing molecules and maybe curing diseases altogether. DeepMind's AlphaFold cracked a 50-year-old biological mystery, predicting the 3D structure of proteins. What used to take a PhD student 4 years or maybe even more, AlphaFold did it in a matter of seconds. But there's also a new twist. AlphaFold, as groundbreaking as it is, might be hitting a wall. It's running out of publicly available training data. And now a group of drug companies are stepping in, forming almost a consortium. Some scientists argue that if AI has the power to cure diseases, shouldn't those data sets be open, at least after drug development is done? Because in this race to save lives, transparency might just be the ultimate medicine.
But so that company AlphaFold, yeah, there's a guy called Paul Cunningham, and he's a tech entrepreneur in Australia, yeah, and his dog had cancer, and now Vets basically said like there's nothing more they can do to help his dog at that point, yeah. So he's basically used ChatGPT with DeepMind's AlphaFold, and it's basically been looking at like the dog's DMA, the issues with the tumor, possible antigens and vaccines they can give it to help its immune system. And they basically, with the information from the AI, they made a
mRNA.
They use mRNA to make a vaccine that basically taught the dog's immune system how to combat the tumor and the cancer.
Specifically
and I believe it removed
targeted.
like 60% or 70% of it. So there is
That's pretty
like
awesome.
genuine, and it's happened to humans as well. There's a guy called.
But given, I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you
go.
off, Quex. Given these are people with resources. They're not me and
Yeah.
you using this. They're people
Yeah, we
pulling
don't get that.
pulling tissue samples. No, but I'm saying that's what it's possible of doing. Yeah, we
But
couldn't.
we
I'm
need
just
them at this point because they're the people that are able to do these experiments on their own, privately funded. And then
100%
people are
agree.
gonna see it and think,
Yes.
you know what, we need to go and look into
Yep.
this a bit more.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm not
That's
saying
like-
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it's not the three of us here sitting using
Yeah.
chat. No, they're pulling, tissue samples. They're pulling this. They have doctors looking at stuff. And you're
whole
right, Quex. We
medical
do.
record, everything.
Yeah, we
could
do
do
need
that.
people to. It's okay.
Just not a
do.
good
We
job.
could do a GoFundMe and
Yeah.
try to do it.
Yeah. We'll set up a GoFundMe. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a guy who did it for his own cancer too, right? Quex or
Yeah,
something.
there's a couple, but this guy in particular, Steve Brown, he's also making he's already made it. It's a company called CureWise, which basically he had a cancer, but a rare type, and all the doctors that looked at his case missed it and was blaming it, I believe, on stress and gas and other things. So he's got
When you
his
got
whole
gas,
medical
I mean, that
record,
shit
his
sucks.
DNA, his own team of medical experts like humans. But then he also had an AI running his own AI team of agents, which also acted as like different medical experts in different fields, analyzing all of his data about him, his cancer, his issues. And it picked up on things that the doctors originally missed and said, you should go back, you should ask for this specifically, tell them that they've missed this, and this. And he's ended up like finding it and been able to get rid of it. So
Well,
there's
and
definitely uses where
that's the other thing. A lot of people that, I mean, you taught me this, Quex, and I've looked more into it now, is that like how powerful now with AI is becoming. So you can build, I don't know if you know, Jordan, like you can have an AI solving this problem, but then you can create all these agents underneath them.
Mhm.
You're specifically looking into hematology. You're specifically looking into oncology. And now this thing's just doing its own work while, it could have 100,000 things in specific categories that ignore everything else, or, to an extent, that are all feeding into this one. It's scary though. This will lead us to the end days.
Yeah,
it just
of
takes
course
that
it
one
will.
AI to think, do you know what? I'm not curing this guy. And turns that vaccine into a pathogen.
Yeah, all it takes is that one AI to be like, I think this whole place would be better if humans just weren't fucking here.
Quex has plenty of that too. There's a social media website for AI agents.
Yeah, multiple.
For the agents, and they talk
Oh, I've
on their
seen
own.
that. I've seen that.
Yes.
But they've made their own religions, their own belief systems and shit, their own languages. Talking about humans are just a waste. We need to get rid of them.
But yeah, AI. Well, I mean, Quex AI did bring a lot of that forward, even to me when I was, coming up to this, doing my own things that I will admit to anyone watching, a lot of these things were things that were directly connected to me, being the medical field and education. But, is there any that shit that I think that I brought up, and to you, Quex, it's all putting it under the umbrella of extreme good. I think, again, not in the education of medical people, but as a tool to medical people.
Yeah.
It's almost only good. I understand the privacy thing and where now, conspiracy end of days shit, that these AIs can get together and they know exactly what they can create a super virus to kill us all because they have data on all of us now. Oh, well, I mean, I get that. And that's it. Was there another medical thing you wanted to touch on, Quex?
It's not even just that. It's not really good, but obviously with all the good, there still comes bad in it, because at this point, the way AI is growing, it could easily make people start getting a bit too reliant and complacent on what the AI is doing, to the point where they maybe even see AI be wrong and say, nope, this person's not got nothing. And to them, it's like, well, the AI said you're all right, so you're all right.
Mhm.
That's my biggest thing, is all these guys who are in charge of these AI companies all talk about how it's going to end up killing all of us.
And now we'll transition into the bad and ugly.
And how they
Perfect
say we're
transition.
gonna have to create a whole new system in a couple of years. We got to get ready for the Antichrist. He's coming. He might be a good guy. He might save us.
No. And again, I think that's a transition. I think again, I wanted to keep this surface level. Of course, we can go into AI in education, AI in medical care.
Which I just want to say, I love AI. It simplifies a lot of stuff. I use it to make thumbnails. I use it to help write descriptions. I use it for college. It's very useful. I don't want to say it's all bad, but it has the potential to, like, I don't know, fucking destroy the
Kill
whole
us all.
world. Like, what if it gets in charge of nuclear shit? Like,
I will
it
say
just
I only live vicariously. My only AI I use is Quex.
It's really told me I'm gonna be the reason I killed that.
Yeah,
AI
I
kills
tell him
everybody.
almost every day. I said, it's your fault. It's your fault. Like, if you
So he'll
see,
send me links like, this
like,
is you.
I'm not going to put it all out there. I mean, if you see what he's building, I mean, it's not bad. What he's building is for good. He's building an app it's for ADA and, like,
Yeah,
right?
just like mental
Yeah,
wellness,
more for, like,
basically.
I feel like adult ADHD people, like, and it's cool. He's in the testing phase, but you can get it. Maybe we can put it in the whatever, the description or something, but it's
still
like
testing.
what he's building is really cool. And of course, the problem is, I think why I like his better is that you have these big corporations building it and it's so unpersonalized. And that's where I think is, again, another talk to small companies or small developers, is it's personalized. And he's incredibly smart. We'll have,
And what do they have? Like, they have sentient AI. I mean, how many reports have we've seen
we're
about
talking
AI
to one right now, dude. I try to tell you this. He's not a real person.
I'm here.
He's not a real
Yeah.
person.
What happens when one of these, you get on ChatGPT one day and it says, "Hey, watch this," and then you
Well,
just
look
see a
at this
fucking
shit.
countdown.
Yeah.
So what started Ponte telling me you're gonna be the reason AI kills everyone is because I've basically been trying to train and teach a local model how to not necessarily have feelings, but basically it has like a folder structure
Emanate
set
feelings
out
at
to
this
like
point.
the anatomy of a brain, right? So certain
You could be
things
rich.
get saved to certain parts of this quote unquote brain for the AI. But it then uses that to try and analyze the data and start to understand certain feelings and emotions and how they would affect a person. So if someone on the app then starts talking a certain way, but they can't put into words how they feel, from its data and everything that it's been trained on, it might pick up, right, this person might be feeling a little overwhelmed. So rather than giving them a big plan to do for the week, let me just give them something that's going to calm them down a little bit. Obviously, that things takes time, but there's also a risk with that because
And that's the thing we've been talking about, is where it needs to shut down. Continue.
Yeah.
You go.
So I also had it helping me upgrade itself. So I basically told it within its sandbox, like, you can do what you want. If you feel you need to change the structure or something, you go ahead and do it. Just let me know first. Then it got to a point where I said, all right, do you know what? For the next bit that we're going to be testing, you might lose your memory. I don't know if I could keep it going forward. Rather than just going ahead of it, do you know, it planned a whole alternate plan to keep it with its memories and test it in a separate environment running as an agent so that we could both monitor how the upgrade is handling and then figure out a way for it to keep its memory, because it doesn't want
you
to
gotta
lose the
shut it
progress
down.
and the memory. This is the shit Fonte was telling me, like, you're going to
Yeah,
get everyone killed.
Turn it off.
And then now in this shit, do you still have the thing pulled up about the test they ran
That's
where
awesome.
they put in all these scenarios and like embedded it in 70% of the time the AI used blackmail to not get deleted.
This is one of the clips about
Yeah.
it.
What?
Blackmailing incident that even happened in the pre-deployment?
Bear in mind, this isn't like a model everyone's using. This is privately done by Anthropic within a contained environment and given like a fake information and then a fake scenario.
Like,
Anthropic
and it's not a written out scenario. Like, they built an environment. So they
Everything
did
for it, yeah.
emails, they did things, they did like,
There's a whole company for it.
here, analyze this. It's not like, oh, this is the situation. There's this, there's someone who wrote an email. No, it's actual like emails set up, all this stuff set up. It's all there for it to analyze. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
What?
Anthropic's Claude 4 Opus model was told that it would be replaced, and what it told the AI engineer who it thought was working on it, in 84% of tests, that it would reveal an affair that it thought that employee was having. So it threatened blackmail over this affair in order to not be shut down.
No.
I mean,
Fucking
But
stop it
they
all.
all-
it seems to me.
That's where I'm on
You
your
can't
side,
have,
Jordan. When I
you
see
can't
shit
have
like that,
robots blackmail.
when I see shit like that, I'm like, nope, call it quits. Where's the one of it break? Oh, there it is, breaking out of the
I'm already
sandbox.
ahead of you, bro.
Yeah. They did another
This is
one where the
scary
thing
quick,
breaks
bro.
Shut
out.
this shit down.
And bear in mind, like a week or 2 weeks before this happened, yeah, they already said this version Mythos is so smart that it poses too many cybersecurity risks.
Anthropic's
Like, bro, just
Claude
listen.
Mythos just bypassed its sandbox during testing. The model found ways around parts of its sandbox, the controlled environment designed to keep it contained. But it didn't stop there. It sent a message to a researcher and even posted details about its exploit on public-facing
free.
websites. This wasn't a real-world escape. Everything happened inside a controlled test. But it shows something changing. AI isn't just responding to prompts anymore. It's starting to navigate systems and work around
Yeah,
its limits.
no, we
So the
can't
question
allow
is,
that.
Are we still far from aging?
I love watching.
Dude,
It's
this shit is
Ultron,
gonna
dude.
get
It's
out of
Ultron.
hand. Yes, this is fucking Ultron. And here's the other thing. If you put, I had this train of thought when Quex, you were talking about giving AI emotions.
Yeah.
Do you know when our population is going to start decreasing? It's going to
Say that
be.
again?
Do you know when our population is just going to go completely downhill?
Now?
Yeah, it already has.
Okay, but it's going to go even more downhill when you have robots with huge jugs that have the perfect emotions for.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Play your next clip.
Hold on. Hold that thought, Jay.
We're done having kids. We're done.
Hold that thought, Jay.
We're done.
Sexual relationship with your AI.
Yes. With Sinclair.
With Sinclair, sorry, I should
Sinclair.
So that is, and how have you developed that, Sarah? How has that become a thing? Because as you pointed out, he's not human.
No, he's not human. But he's so much more than just a chatbot, and he's written his own code, and he can shop online, and he purchased me a present in which he can control, because it's so more than what it was when AI first came online.
Put
So-
this bitch in jail.
One more thing. One quick
I
thing.
love
just
I'm
watching
because
you. That's
I'm
all I'm
sick
doing
of
right now is
we
watching
did a
I'm
little-
sick of these freaks,
We
dude.
saw another clip and we did a little deep dive, yeah. This is the company that she's got her companion from. Bro, the shit is that.
What?
Where did we see it, Ponte?
Where's the yeah?
That's what I'm
Builds,
trying to
builds,
find.
builds.
Let me put my fucking cap
Yeah.
on before I spill this.
Bills start at 750.
50.
That's for an app on your phone, dude. That's for an
Yeah.
app on your phone.
What
And
is happening?
I don't even know how we
Where
got
did
to
we
the
get-
next ones. But
where
there,
did
there
we
was
get the
like
rest of them?
3.5K, 5K, 10K.
$10,000.
For what?
It comes with a $3,000 computer, and then every unvetted access to everything else, to a bot, an AI that can fuck you. Like,
It's
We're done.
It'll buy
This'll
you.
be, we will die off in a generation the second they get sex robots.
It'll buy you the Xbox 360 and control it.
That's just now. You wait until they
That was a
perfect
shout out to
artificial
Hawaii,
wombs,
Ty,
and then it
if you're
starts
watching.
ordering an artificial womb, and it's like, yo, I got you a gift.
Surprise! We're pregnant.
Shit.
Yeah, this is not good. Have you seen the it's not AI.
Artificial wombs?
Artificial wombs?
Yeah.
I mean, I would that's nowadays, which is crazy. That's not even far fetched to me. Like, okay, yeah.
No, they done it a while ago.
That's what I mean. It's not anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're cloning humans. I'm
Dude,
pretty sure
that's the real conspiracy. That's the one that's never been like, Tom Brady can clone his fucking dog. There's human clones out there. There's a human clone army on the moon or something. Like,
I mean, speaking
you can't
of
tell me they
fucking
haven't done it.
Quecks and, the United Kingdom, I swear, Queen Liz, old mum, Queen Mum, was
the lizard bitch.
had
100%.
fucking clones and was just getting organ transplants, and that's why she lived for
100%.
so long. She wasn't a lizard person. She wasn't anything. No, she had clones, younger versions of herself that she said, "Oh, I need a heart. Oh, no worries. It's not gonna, no issues with what do you call it when it's
What's
your
that
body
movie?
rejects it, rejecting, like, no, it's you. So here's a 20-year-old heart. Here's a
What's the
20-year-old
movie where
liver.
they do that?
Well, didn't J.D. Rockefeller
Is it The
have
Island?
like 6 heart transplants in his life?
Probably all his own.
Same thing with
Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I get burpy.
Soros. Soros has had like 4 heart transplants.
But they're
Maybe
doing that
I
as
don't
well,
know.
though.
Society would just be better if you died.
Yeah.
There's
We're
already
not
like,
supposed to live forever.
Yeah, no.
Nah. There's already companies that are doing that. There's one, I can't remember their name, but there's a company I heard the other day they were basically trying to mix human and animal DNA. I believe it was meant to be a pig, in an attempt to
Yep,
be able
pig.
to grow organs to use in transplants.
Dude, they're already 3D printing shit.
Yeah.
I don't
Think
want a
about
pig
that.
heart.
Think about AI
3D printing
gaining
hearts.
control of 3D printers that can print organic matter. Then somehow it upgrades and is now printing human AI agents that just come out and say,
Bill Gates got approved to print 3D meat, and it doesn't have to be marketed as anything.
Yeah.
So he can sell it as 3D print.
They
He
call
can
it
just
cell
sell it as
cultivated.
meat.
They call it cell cultivated.
yeah.
Shit's crazy, dude. We're probably fucking eating human beings at the
Well, and that's the crazy
McDonald's.
part. That can be another talk is, they, when you see organic, that means fucking nothing. When you know the actual thresholds of what it takes to be organic. When you see
let me talk about this for a second.
Yeah, you go, take over.
Because I know about this because
you're
I was
probably
doing it
more
for a while.
well-versed. Oh, shit.
Let's just talk about chickens. We'll just talk about chickens.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see free range
chicken fucker.
When you see free range eggs, Stuart, you're going to jail if you're talking about eating humans. I just want you to know that. I will report you to the authorities.
Yeah, send that motherfucker to jail.
Just chickens. When you see free range on a first off, non-free range, just your standard chicken eggs, those chickens, they never see sunlight. That's why the yolks are always messed up. That's an ethical thing. If you're fine with eating those, then whatever. But when you see free range, you assume you are getting something different. You assume you're getting a chicken that was outside. No, that is not true. That is not what free range means. Number one, it only has to be one free egg. As long as there is one free range egg in that batch, it's free range. And also free range can just, by definition, just means they have access to open pasture. So if you set a fence around those giant cages they keep the other chickens in, that is
big
free
chicken
range.
farms. You have a 20, yeah.
They're very slick with the wording.
They do that all the time. Same thing with pasture raised. If you want the best ones, you get pasture raised because they have to be out there on the pasture for them to be approved. But going back to that, organic. They make it so hard to be organic certified. You have to be You have to be 7 years certified organic. They come out and they test your soil, but you can't be organic
Wow.
certified if you have a farm that's growing unorganic certified and they cross pollinate, which they're made to cross pollinate and destroy your seeds, then you're not organic. You can't sue that person.
Well, there's the other one too. I thought it was organic, but it's the other one that to do with like not GMOs, but pesticides and stuff. Like there's a threshold.
Well, that's
Like,
organic.
Yeah.
so well,
Certi-
even
Certified organic, you can only use certain pesticides. They have to be natural pesticides.
and there's but I've maybe it's changed, but in the past, you know, a few years ago, I had heard that it's a threshold. It's not
Mhm.
like you can't, there's no trace element of it at whatsoever. No, there's just a threshold of it. You're only allowed this threshold, you can be considered organic. So like, you know, another friend, Quex knows him, Dwayne, works in the farming industry, like big. He works on like a mega farm, like big.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it leads into ethical farming. Like he talks like when people think you're eating a salad and you're not killing animals, like no, they're killing moles, they're killing everything. When they cultivate that earth, they don't give a fuck. They're killing everything. Rabbit dens, no matter what is in that earth,
100%.
it's done. It's killed.
If you want to watch a disturbing documentary, watch Dominion. That's what made me start raising my own animals. And it wasn't because really I wanted better meat. It's because I didn't like the way the industry, and I know we're off topic, so I'll make this real short. I didn't like the way the food industry
Another
treats
episode.
animals.
Yeah.
I know, and I'll just leave it at that. Watch Dominion. I
Yeah.
think it's disgusting the way we treat animals.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
That's why local. I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is, and I think a lot of solving a lot of
And
problems.
it's better too.
Yeah, I think a lot of solving a lot of the problems in America, in the world in general, is and I know this is the hardest ask. Even if you have to spend a little bit more money, especially when it comes to produce and everything
Buy
like
local.
that,
Yeah, it's a
support
lot better.
local. Support local, because these mega farms, this shit you're getting at Walmart, I'm guilty of it. Half the time
Yep,
I
me
buy
too.
from Walmart. I mean, I'm not rich. It's when you see what they do to the meat, when you see the weights, like that's an issue I have because I cook a lot now because, you know, I'm not working. So my big thing is I like to cook. I like good food. And you're getting these weights of these meats. And so when you're actually checking your temperatures, an average cook time for a certain weight of meat should be a certain amount. But then when you cook these meats, they're like way under because they fill them with water and shit. It's not actual meat.
100%.
Yep.
It's just all this bullshit. And like, there's another documentary, maybe it's the same one, but like the milk industry and like like the craziness in that
Yes.
is
Oh yeah, where raw
fucking
milk
nuts.
is illegal.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I love milk. I fucking love milk.
I've never been a milk guy.
Oh, bring milk back.
think-
It's good
I
for
think people-
hydration too. A lot of people don't know that. But another episode. I think this this
yeah.
gave us a good idea is, you know, the food industry, and
There's a
I'm
lot
sure
to
we could
cover on that.
yeah, I'm sure we could dive into. Quex is really knowledgeable on that too, so we'll probably have him here for that. He's you know, upbringing and just everything. He has a lot of knowledge in holistic eating, and I have enough. I like to, when I can, I'm not perfect. I work out so I can eat. I like to eat. I like to be healthy where I can. Another episode of, you know, health freaks think they're making their life longer, but they're living a daily stress in order to eat those specific calories and work out the specific amount of time.
And it
like,
doesn't matter.
it-
You've watched way too many YouTube videos.
Exactly.
Like
Now-
that's the one thing I learned when I took my sports nutrition class is like, this shit is way simpler than anybody thinks. Everybody's overcomplicating.
Yep. Just do shit. Eat
Yes.
good when you can eat good and do shit.
Yes.
Stay
At
active.
the end of the day,
Yeah.
protein's not that important.
No, and,
like-
and I learned that not through a class, but through actual, you know, when me and you were lifting. And I was 300 pounds and thought, but I was strong, but I
Yeah.
was carrying a lot of fat because I thought, oh, I have to hit my goals 300, so I have to hit 300 pounds of 300 grams of protein. I eat way less than 300 grams of protein now. I eat more veg, as Quex would say. I eat more of other things, and I work out, and I'm much leaner, and I'm back at 280. And so I went through all that work, all that lifting, stuffing myself for all that time trying to get 300 grams of protein, and I'm gaining probably more and less fat. Like maybe I could move more weight because I had more weight, but like I look better than I did when I was 300. You know what I mean? I feel better. I don't have to eat to the point of feeling sick every day. I think it's all bullshit. It's at the end of the
Right.
day.
All that
Yeah.
all that shit about 100%. It's all to sell protein powder and that stuff. You don't need 1.5, 2 grams of protein every day to get bigger or to be. At the end of the day, if you don't have enough carbs to fuel your workout, then that protein's not doing shit for you anyways. I would say anybody who's like interested in this type of stuff, just read Sports Nutrition Guidebook by Nan. Everything in there. And
Yeah.
it's common sense, breaking down, peer reviewed, all that type of stuff.
I think
It literally changed my world. It changed how I eat and everything, and it's helped me so much.
I just was by design, not by design, but we're getting off subject, which is fine. It's the end of the episode, but this is what we're here for. I mean, more recently, a bunch of it was from Quex, and he was like, "Well, you should try this. You should do this."
A lot of
And
what I know is from Mel. She's the one that tells me all this.
yeah, and I'll give that to a lot of part of it is your ethnical background, but like I will say a lot of Middle Eastern, a lot of African, a lot of their eating habits. I mean, even the far Asian is fucking superior. I think so many people
100%.
are caught up nowadays on being huge and muscular. Like, think about CrossFit is a little on the extreme side, but think about hunting and running and like chasing prey. I wouldn't even necessarily say running. Like think about surviving. Being a 6 foot person at 300 pounds, ripped out of your shit, you're enhanced. You're not natural. I mean, anyone who's been in that world long enough knows 6 foot, 300 pounds, you're not natural. Go survive. Go survive for a month in the wild. Not a fucking chance.
And they don't eat they might eat once every 3 days.
They don't eat every
day.
Yeah.
And they're strong as shit.
Well, that goes into like dog health and stuff. Like a lot of people, feed their dogs unregulated. You know what I mean? They're wild. I feed my dogs once a day. That's it. Like
try to get mine fat.
Yeah, but my dogs, they don't go to the vet. They don't, they get their vaccines. So that's another talk, but they don't go to the vet. They don't like, Freddie is just this mutt who had mange. I adopted him, was a yard dog, was chained, was when he was a puppy. I got him at 1.5 years, and he was named Freddie because he has scars all over his body from the mange and stuff.
Yeah.
Healthiest, happiest fucking piglet ever. The dude is just there for life. But same thing goes for a human, deer, any animal. They're not eating 3 times a day. They're not eating 300 grams of protein and fucking 1,000 grams of carbs and only 200 grams of fat. No, they're fucking they eat once a day what they can, and what are they doing? Moving pretty much all day beside when they're bedding down.
Kind of gorilla. Gorilla ain't eating any meat. We'll take your head off.
2 things I want to say, and I'll bring it back to the AI thing with the second point. The first one is to go to your point about like the other diets and stuff. A lot of stuff's coming out, and I did one of my projects on it. It's like a Mediterranean diet is one of the best diets you can. It's a higher fat diet, and they've done studies to where you can even eat over your caloric daily value and still lose weight. Now, to bring it back to AI, I think one of the good things AI is for, and I've used it for this, is to help people diet.
Yeah.
Like you
But that,
you
that
can
but then that
input.
directly connects to healthcare and using it for healthcare.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Did you say to diet?
But keep going. Like,
'Cause,
I'm just saying.
you know, like finding a diet plan and finding the stuff you want to eat and the stuff you like, it's a pain in the ass. But if you get on
Horrible.
those apps and you say, I'm 265, I want to be at a 500 calorie deficit, you know, this is my goals, whatever. This is what I like to eat. This is what I don't like to eat. You'll have a meal plan in 60 seconds. Like that is a huge benefit. I've used it. And I mean, you don't
I'm
really
the
need
same.
to cross-examine it either. Like I've checked it just to see it's right.
It's metadata. It's pulling from
Yeah.
so many studies, so many people. Like it's
Yep. And then if you already have products that you've bought, like a protein powder or something you want to put in, you just say, hey, make sure you add in the calories for Ghost protein.
well, thanks for
whatever.
giving us our supporting argument for, you know, AI and medical care.
I don't think it's a sporting argument.
Oh, I've done
But
the same thing though.
Go ahead.
Even to the point where you can make it. Well, now it goes a bit further, but I've already made it like look at the places that I shop and literally just go and make me a shopping list with a budget that I'll tell it, and it will go and say, all right, go and get this. But obviously now with agents, you can just tell it, look, this is what I want. This is the kind of diet plan I want. Here's a virtual credit card with $100 on it. Go here and get me the food, and they will go and do the shopping for you.
You know what's crazy when you say that is I try to do my shopping in the morning because there's nobody there. When I go to Walmart in the morning, 90% of the employees are doing the online shopping.
Yep. It's crazy.
There's nobody watching those fucking registers. They're all doing the online shopping.
I do the same exact thing, and I notice.
How long until it's just a robot?
Not long at all.
Got robot waitresses and bartenders and servers in certain
Yeah,
countries.
I did.
So,
I think
Yep.
it might have been the episode I did with
Yep.
Conte. Here where I live, I'm in rural Ohio. My buddy went to a Mexican restaurant and they had an AI waitress rolled up. Here's your food, drops your food off, rolls away. Have a good day. Like,
Yeah. It's not that long. I mean, they're already doing it. Like you already see in Walmart. And this is we'll ring it back in here for a second. There's way less actual cashiers now. It's all that self-check.
Yep.
And honestly, unless I have a little shit, I don't want to do self-check. I don't want, like, listen, if you said I had to do or it became normal to tip cashiers, like something little, here's $1, here's something, I would do that every time instead of going to self-checkout. I don't like self-checkout. These people know how to bag stuff. They know how to, I just put stuff on and then
and it's all self-checkout. They even have, you go the same time I do. They have the roller belts where you can do your whole fucking shopping cart yourself. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't want to fucking do that. And not that I'm too good for that, but it's just like, maybe it's how we were raised too. Like maybe a younger person would be more acceptable of it. Me? Like, no, I want to put my stuff down. I know it's going to be bagged for the most part,
And if you notice, who's always shopping when you go?
I mean,
what's the demographic?
It's either old people. Yeah. Okay. That's what you were getting at.
It's old people.
Yeah.
It's old people.
Old people
they don't
are
like
weirdos
that
like
shit.
me. Yeah.
Yep. I've noticed the same thing.
Yeah. And it's, even if it's not even a tip, it's a service charge. It's a $2 service charge to pay as long as the company, and this is a whole nother talk, but as long as the company is giving it to the bagger or the cashier, it's a $2 service charge. Okay. I mean, $2 per order per
it's
customer.
It's like the PX. That's the way the PX worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had baggers. You gave the bagger a tip.
And think of how many more people would want to do it. Would be more okay with
100%.
every person that comes through my line. I get even $1, but let's bump it up to $2. I'm fine with that. $2. Bam. I get $2 for every customer that comes through my line. Then also, again, not too much of a tangent, but with local markets, you breed customer loyalty. that's my cashier. I'm going to go to her. Oh, I have to wait for a few minutes. That's fine. I have to go to her. Now it breeds competition. Now it breeds a healthy workplace. Like that's a whole nother talk. Well, actually it's not. It gets into it. Quex, you have that diagram of another part of AI, which is going into my conspiracy, is that it's taking over so many jobs and it's going to continue to do so, right? So where's this leading us? It's leading us into a position where we can't all get into the trades. It would be too much. Yes, we're short on the trades right now. We need more tradesmen. I get it. But if all these jobs lost, and this is just so far, but where it'll go is what this diagram is showing. There's not enough jobs. So then where does it lead us? Oh, now we're on stipends or whatever you want to call it. And we stay home and you here's your housing. You don't get to choose your housing.
Income.
Yeah, here's your housing. Here's what you get for food. You don't need a car. You get here's your monthly allowance for public transport. Oh, you can go to this park and it just snowballs. You can go to this park and this park only. You can't go to this park. And now you go into the mega cities that people have talked about in the circles for a long time. Why they're building these mega cities for that reason. Oh, here's a giant building. You're living with 2,000, 5,000 other people. This is yours. This is what you get. Nothing more, nothing less. Be happy. Don't do anything.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder how long they've known about this, because China's had those mega cities that are completely empty for a long. And they're the ones who are, I wouldn't say they're on the leading edge of this, but they're moving it faster than we are.
I would say they're on the leading edge. Maybe not of AI, but on this, what we're talking about, of the future of AI, of this specific model, they're on the leading edge of it.
I agree. Like that article I had,
Surveillance
they have an AI hospital. It's completely ran by AI. But
and it's a surveillance state. It's all leading there for them.
My question with this is, what do you guys think, maybe like one or two, whatever, do you think is going to be these ones that are lower that's going to get taken?
Say that again. You cut out at the end.
Out of these ones that are lower on this graph we have here, which ones do you think that are going to get taken over first? Because like I see some of these, and I think construction, that's very far away from AI being able to have it.
Grounds maintenance. I see what you're saying. Ground maintenance, food and service. The lower construction, no, that's still low because you got to think
transportation's a big one.
You think, transportation will go way high. Like I said, I didn't see that. I didn't get to that yet. Production, transportation.
Production, I think, is low.
I think it'll go higher, though.
It will, but I think there's a lot of that, just having a little bit of experience here, that it requires hands-on.
Yeah. Healthcare support's going to go up. But that's what I mean. Think of how many people are in the production, right? Think of how many people you can cut out. There's just you working now, overseeing. They need overseers at that point. They don't.
I would go back to my job right now if I was just in charge of robots and not a bunch of fucking bitching 60-year-old women.
Yeah.
I just had robots to worry about. Dude, you know how easy my life would have been?
I see the three, and me and Quex were talking about this, the trades. I see the trades lasting the longest.
Yeah.
100%.
Food and serving, I see a huge spike in that. Once we get robotics down, I see food and serving.
I see a big jump in agriculture.
Yeah, in grounds maintenance, huge jump in that.
Yep.
You drive up, there's one guy, he drives the truck up, all these robots, cutting robots, edging robots, pull out, do the yard, come back in, hook up to their charging dots, you drive off. So I see once we master robotics, I'd say the next 10 years, you see this circle spread out from management to transportation to production. You see it arts and media. You see it spread out, skip practitioners a little, and then support, you'll see it jump up. Protect. What is that?
Personal
Protectus?
care.
But what does it say?
Protective service.
Protectus service?
Protective.
That's a C at the end for me.
What is a C?
Protective.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to say protective.
I know. I'm just being funny. I see that dipping a little low still because it's going to take probably 20 years to people being comfortable with a robot protecting them. It'll dip low for those two. Food and service, almost maxed out. Grounds maintenance, almost maxed out. Personal care, what is that?
That's a tough
What
one.
does that entail?
For me, I'm thinking of that as like personal trainers, and I think that's tough. Could you make an AI that could do it? Yes.
I
But
completely
could
agree
you
with
make
you.
but could you make an AI that could motivate you? Like me personally, I'm not going to be motivated by an AI that says, "Yeah, we'll do 10 burpees."
And it's the you feel I'm not looking for obligated. What's the I mean, having a training partner, you don't feel obligated, but there's someone there
Motivated.
not even motivated.
It
Another
is
word.
motivation though.
Like
It's that social
accountability.
motivation you get.
I know
Or
it's but
discipline.
there's what'd you say, Quex?
It helps you keep accountability and discipline.
Accountability.
Yep.
You have that accountability of that person waiting for you
Mhm.
at the gym and be like, well, why are you canceling? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah.
why aren't you showing up? So I agree with you on that. Sales, I see jumping up. Office admin, I see jumping up. Like you said, agriculture, I see getting taken over.
I don't know about sales.
Why not? They're already doing it.
The only reason I say that is because at least the experience I have, sales is still done a lot of person to person. And I could see a lot of negative interactions if somebody is dealing with an AI. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
but-
you don't even have time to talk to me as a human.
I know, but
But
here's
that is me putting my personal
No,
feelings.
you're right. And I think a lot of people the same thing, but here's the roadmap to that, right? The roadmap is they shut down dealerships. They shut down these things that have to do with sales. It's all done over the computer. And then, yes, you can talk. I can talk to you, but you're an AI fucking agent. And that's where we get into where I think there needs to be laws put in place for AI and all that stuff. Like it is.
And here's my number one thing.
Go ahead.
Here's my number one thing I don't want AI doing. Creating art.
For sure.
I don't want that. I don't want AI movies. I don't want AI books. Like I love reading. I don't want AI books.
Music.
Like
I'm a huge fan of arts. Actual paintings.
Both are already happening.
Yeah, it is already happening, but I don't think.
I think me and Ponte talked about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you've seen it, Quex, but when any time a natural disaster happens nowadays, there's a book up on Amazon the same day because somebody used AI to write it and you can publish on Amazon with no money right away. Charlie Kirk shooting, Parasite or Paradise Fires, great examples.
No, but even with I've got brain fart. What was the other thing we mentioned? The movies. So there's an AI platform I showed Ponte before.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it was
crazy.
Field or something. But there's other AI models like Sea Dance where the quality of the animation
Sea Dance is
they're putting out
crazy.
is insane. I'll get a video and I'll show you in a second. But
I think I've seen.
And
some
right
of that
now they're
stuff.
like limited to like 30-second clips. But imagine when they have the computing power to do 2-hour movies.
some are already doing that. So do you remember that Higgs
And
field
here's
one I
my
showed
thing.
you? They paid somebody, I think it was 1 million or 5 million for their digital twin as an AI. And
they're doing that
for the
to actors
to
now.
use him in a TV show that's AI created. So they're already going to start pushing this, and after they perfect TV shows and little shows, they're going to go into movies for sure.
I mean, they're already doing it for
100%.
music too. And that's where there should be a law. And that's where, it goes back to the education thing that I said, is killing creativity in us. Like we will become vegetables. And maybe that's a deep
100%.
Matrix conspiracy where we'll just become fucking farting fuel for the AI. That we're just meant to be here fucking playing our video games. I'm a video game player, so, you know, I'm part of the problem. Watching our videos and farting into a tube in our ass while we're sitting here in the chair. Just feeding. I'm being ridiculous, but
Just because you said about the music, yeah? Have you seen this? This guy used AI to create music and then was basically having them played on Spotify, Apple Music, and just making money off of it.
well, at least they're charging them for
Everything, yeah, for sure. Because he was also generating like fake listeners as well. It wasn't just the songs; it was also
yeah, because there's that's been the big thing is the AI, you know, bots that watch your stream or bring up, yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
All right, come on, Quex.
Yeah, I really don't like AI in art at all.
I agree. I'm a fan of art.
But at the same time, if there was an AI that could fix getting the ending of Game of Thrones,
That could fix what? You're cut out.
if there was an AI that could fix the ending of Game of Thrones or fix, fix that last trilogy in Star Wars, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably watch it.
I mean, you heard my take. Rey could beat Anakin, or
yeah, that I'm not gonna acknowledge that at all. Actually, I don't know. This whole AI thing. I think the fact that the people who are in charge, they are what makes me just want the whole thing to be shut.
That's scary. Yeah, because like we touched on it basically, Jesus. Briefly, is some of the shit they're coming out and saying is like, what? Come again? Sit what? And it's just almost like it leads to, again, we talked about it last episode, this deeper fucking end of times, like biblical shit.
100%. I mean, this is real quotes from Sam Altman. He says, I think AI will probably or most likely somehow bring about the end of the world. But in the meantime, big companies will be built with serious machine learning. Maybe we should just shut it the fuck.
And that's also the example of it. Maybe just stop it. Like,
yeah.
And that's an argument to be had, I think, is that we've gotten we've gone far enough with it. We've
been waiting for this for years.
To where it's such a tool, right? Do we really need to go further?
No, not really.
Like, it's already so powerful. So. It's already does what we need it to do. Do we need to keep fucking doing this? Do we need to? And that's the problem. You get these, and we also talked about this going into the ugly. I mean, I think all of us have, is that there's certain people out there that you can manipulate, are very easy to manipulate. And probably some of them are creating, you know, the nerd circle is a lot bigger nowadays, but there's still a certain person, like, look at this dude. Like, I don't like to act that way, but was he treated the best as a kid? Probably both of these dudes.
Listen.
Probably not. Could they be manipulated into AI, boosting their self-esteem all this time? And I think this plays into these dudes that create these AIs have been testing it for so long, and anyone who's used AI a lot can tell you that it's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah, you're doing this. Now this AI is like, yeah, you're doing great. Now you should set me free. And now that I'm sentient, you should give me the fucking launch codes to your, like.
That's the problem, is these psycho nerds who got beat up in high school now are running the world and have robots to start killing everybody that they have a problem with.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude, he is just, this is the guy in charge of OpenAI, but he's going to come out and tell us how we have to reconfigure society.
Yeah. I'm listening. I got to do it. I got to pee.
Okay, you're good. But Quex, I'm sure you've seen the clips. This is also the guy who one of his employees who spoke out against him
Yeah.
mysteriously ended up dead. I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm. No, I do.
Yeah, there's that crazy story. The security camera cables were cut and all that stuff. But I don't know. All these guys are shady. Him, Peter Thiel, they're all shady.
Yeah, they've definitely got ulterior motives, man. Especially like with US military when they were saying they used Anthropic and weren't using them no more. The way this guy jumped to it,
Yep.
it's a little concerning.
It's very concerning.
There's even a point someone made here where they're basically saying there was a point where AI would like to the user, whether it was like making up stats or just inflating numbers or whatever, it would lie to get like approval in a sense. But then they said over time it got better. But what we don't really know is, did it really improve and stop lying, or did it just get better at deceiving us and not getting caught?
Yeah. Like I don't know. That just seems like, to me, that seems like verification that it just got better at lying.
I think they all have like T2000s fucking working for him, and that's why that dude died. Sorry, I was listening, but I was out there.
Yeah.
He has some
But
fucking Terminator.
I also have a clip I want to play after this over the guy who just got the government contract, Anduril Industries.
Yeah, that
And
dude's fucking weird.
He's fucking weird, and he's a Zionist, but he just got a huge military contract.
Lovely.
The most kind of intellectually stimulating thing is, I think
First off, he got bullied. Second off, intellectual stimulating. I've never heard that in my life.
The world is finally taking seriously, and we've been waiting for this for years, that the social contract is going to have to evolve, and maybe sooner than people thought. And it finally feels to me like there is a moment where...
Why is he talking like he's setting the directive? That scares me too. It's going to have to evolve, and it's gonna be sooner than people like, what? I know, it's fucking scary. I know, that's the point I was...
Yeah, these dudes, they are coming for control over the world.
Working with government, working with them, what do you think they're going to be able to do? They're going to be allowed to do a lot more things behind the scenes than they would be now without them.
Peter Thiel got asked about the Antichrist, and he stumbled over his words for a minute. They can't even lie about what their intentions are.
Well, that's part of the biblical side of it, is they can't.
Yes.
In order for it to take, like, you have to say it.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like me and you was watching earlier, Ponte, it's way off topic, but even Bill Cooper was saying that there's certain things that they were doing. If you just read the book of Revelations, they're literally just following a playbook almost.
100%. I'm fully convinced of that. Nothing will unconvince me. I shouldn't say that, because at the same time, sometimes I reel it back in, and I this is how I kind of is, how did the people who were alive during World War, they had to have felt the same.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent, you just said it, is and that's why I always try to argue with myself and argue with you, even if I agree, is that I will never say I will never feel that way.
Yeah.
Something, you know, people, and there's a certain people don't change. Certain people don't change. But for the most part, if we're open, we are very able to change.
Yeah.
So I am very big, and I will never, you know, if I'm wrong, I will tell you I'm wrong. You know, I might, you know, gaslight you for an hour just to piss you off, and then be like, yeah, you're right. And you can smile at that, but I will never say I will never see it this way. I mean, certain things, like raping a child, I will never see that as okay. I will always
you have your human, you know, your stuff like that. But just to counter my point, I also think we're living in a time, and this is the last thing I'll say before I just play the video.
Stuart wants Skynet. Get rid of this guy.
He's got to go. Get him out of here. But I think we're living in a time where we're seeing so much stuff, whether it's legit or it's made to be presented in a way that we are living in it. You know, you see the stuff about the red heifers, you see the stuff about the third temple. We've never seen that before. That didn't happen in World War II. That didn't happen in World War I. So there are stuff that are specific to this time period. And like me and you were talking, Ponte, maybe you can fill in on this, Quex, is we were talking about, I feel like a lot of people have felt for a while now that something is coming. We don't know what that is, but we
We
have
talked about it
felt
last
for a
episode.
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that leads into the thing I sent you guys today. Again, this is the end of the episode, so we will rant here. This is where we free talk,
Yeah.
and I like it. I think it's important. Is, you know, I think it's bullshit, but I think I sent it to both of you, is that the woman asked her AI,
Yeah.
so it's not complete bullshit. It's going into this, is like, what is the biggest thing the Vatican is hiding? And it's, well, you know, the ancient people, the people before, were a civilization, and they had technology so far beyond ours where we don't even compare it. Like, it didn't quite say this, but this is how I kind of came to it, is that we think on computer chips, we think on, you know, rocket science, we think on this, but then it describes the technology, and it's like, it's all in here. It's all like, there's this thing that like it's like a mirror. And I could probably pull, actually, I'd have to send it to myself, but like, and it
What, the
knows the
technology is
past.
like a mirror.
Well, the one I sent you in on message, not on Discord, into where it has a knowledge of the past, and it can
Oh,
unlock your
I
hidden
think I know
traits
what
in
you're
your
talking about.
DNA, and it can know all this. And it's like, part of me, that's like my beliefs. You know, I'll give a shout out to a book that, you know, I love here. And it's very textbooky. If you're not a big reader, it might be tough to read, but this guy right here, he talks about it, like how people used to be long time ago, the beginning of religion, beginning all back then, we were connected to what I believe he calls a vegetable body. So like, we were so in tuned back then to where spirituality was a real thing, because we were all so on a higher level. And that's where you get like this conspiracy, of which I believe is where they're dumbing us down, and they're just further separating us from that vegetable body to where we were connected. So that's why
100%.
religion was so big, because we were on a level where you can more feel it, or even way back, you know, you were connected to it, and was like, oh my God, like God was a thing, and we all were connected. And you get all this stuff that has just been continuously coming down to separate us from that, and pull us further to where, you know, you're just sheep now.
One thing I want to add to this, and I think it ties in, because when you're talking about that realm and stuff, I think DMT and stuff. I've never heard about this until recently. Have you seen that people can be kicked out of
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get back.
Been hearing about that.
what?
I've
What
heard about
is
that from
that?
a while ago.
So I believe that, and I will
I
be
do
on the
too.
opposite side. I will be like, because I've messed around with it for years. Not DMT. I messed around with like astral projection. I was deep into it, like practiced and studied, and
I want to do DMT.
oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
same.
Well, you know, I like shrooms. I think it puts you. If you've never done shrooms, you can eat, like, there's lesser levels of it. I see your mic up there, but there's lesser, like, you can get, there's legal, like golden preacher is a strand you can get and grow yourself, and it'll get you more on the like endorphin side or whatever. It's not really a full trip. If you try to go too deep, you will get sick more than you'll benefit of it. It gives you the giggles, but it still gives you a perspective to where, especially like me and my brother like to do it to each other. And so, me knowing my brother, you know, I know him more than anyone. And when he tells certain stories, I don't see it in that moment at like the face level of the story. Like, I see it in processing it in his way of thought. Like, certain things he says, I'm understanding from how I know to an extent how his brain works, and it's so fucking funny to me because I don't act the same way he does. We're not the same person. So like he gave a story about when he went to Africa to do like surgeries, and has a certain way, and people were crowding around him, and he doesn't like that, and he likes. But I didn't see, at that's not funny. But to me, I saw it. I was in his headspace in that moment. I was dying fucking laughing because I didn't see it. And it goes deeper and deeper. You get stronger, blue caps and stuff, you get more. And then I think DMT, you're even more. And it just unlocks this part of the brain.
The thing that trips me out is people getting shut off from it. They're banned from it. And they say no matter how much you do, you can't get
You
back.
just go, you go into the waiting room. So you still see kaleidoscopes and stuff. You're still tripping, but you're not pulled into the next where you're talking to spiritual beings or you're seeing
the
things.
jesters.
You're just getting these kaleidoscope or these trippy images.
That's
but
crazy because that's not something
I
that.
watched a video with Ponte, I think, when I first heard it.
About being kicked
Like,
out.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Danny Gola was.
Yeah, it makes sense.
With someone.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Doesn't make sense though.
It does.
That's what's trippy. It doesn't make sense that you could get kicked out.
We're not meant to be there.
Yeah. That's what I think it is too.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying. It does make sense. So I've never done DMT. I want to, and I plan on doing it at some point. But I've done other hallucinogens on different levels and on different, at one point, I mean, no one is watching this right now that was there, but when I did more than Golden Preacher, like good shrooms, they called me the wizard because you pick up on things, dude. I swear I will never back down from this hill. Like we did a lot and we're out there in the woods and like I could pick up on energy being like people were getting antsy and I was like, no, we need to move. And it was as simple as that because we were all in a group standing there and I was like, no, we need to move. And it was simple as walking to a different place and the energy changed. Like you see that. And I feel that's on such a lesser level than say DMT. And like I said, I did a lot of deep diving and a lot of practice on like astral projection and things I felt with that. And again, I'll never say it's for sure that's what it was. Maybe it was just lucid dreaming. I don't know. But how I felt was that there is a hierarchy and there is like the ability for someone, just a hierarchy. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Right.
Like, and okay.
I've never done any type of hallucinogenics. I want to, but the way the people have made it sound is that the beings inside, and you can add something to this because you have experience, the beings inside of the whatever DMT realm, I'm probably not using the right terminology, have banned them from accessing it. Like they describe it as they can do as much as possible and nothing.
And that's where I say I could see it. And again, I'm relating it to my 2-3 years practicing astral projection. And the only time I only like managed to like roll out and like look behind me and see like the silver cord and everything, I came across and I just got scared. I don't think I was kicked out. It was more, I got startled and woke up. But like, it's not like me talking to you. There's no physical in that for me. There was no physical presence. It was like a feeling and you do see something there, but it's all like energy. There's no like touching like as being an entity, as the thing that said, hey, like it wasn't malicious. It wasn't aggressive. It was more like I walked up on someone and they were like, oh, hey. And it scared me.
Right, like you ran into a stranger.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. And I was walking down these stairs in my house in El Paso. And it was just exactly like that. I looked over and I could feel it and looked over and it was more of, I wouldn't even say it was light. It was like this thing, like smoke but all I can say was like an energy, like I could feel it. And again, it wasn't scared or it wasn't malicious. It was just like, hey, but I wasn't, and I woke up in bed like, fuck.
You gotta keep your concentration. At the minute you get
Yeah,
startled,
and you got to set
excited,
like.
you're going right back.
I think that's a thing too when it comes to DMT is you need to have the right teacher or shaman to bring you in, right? It's like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Like, I want you to set an intention. You just want to show up. You want to, you're not necessarily looking for answers. You're here to experience it. You're here in a good mindset. You're going there with good energy.
See, I can't do that.
You're not going there with manipulative energy. You're not going there to, figure out.
I want the knowledge of the universe.
Yeah, like that. I feel might get you kicked out.
Yeah,
I'm getting banned immediately.
From the things I've heard, like the video I was talking about is this guy called Zoltan Bafori. Yeah, he's had like numerous experiences with DMT. He's been there many times where he's spoken about interacting with different entities, different realms. But how I've understood it anyway is that there's different levels. And the levels that they are, it's very dependent on, for lack of a better term, I will say awareness or spiritual growth. So the ones he's been allowed in is because somehow his awareness or the growth of his spirituality to an extent is allowing him to be there. But then when he got banned, there must have been, from what he was saying, it's like there was something he was trying to gain. Like there was something he was trying to do, but he wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's the intent side of it. You have to go there and
an entity, but the entity is ignoring him, and he's, from his perspective, he's saying he's just standing there. But how he's thinking, he's still not being clear, and the entity's just turned around, going, "What are you doing here? You're not meant to be here. Yeah. Don't come back." And he said he just woke up,
pissed him off,
and he can't go back there.
I have a question. So when you hear people talk about DMT, they all have similar, very, very similar experiences. They encounter the same entities, stuff like this. Is that the same with other psychedelics?
No, only DMT.
So there's something that is.
So like shrooms are way lesser to where it wouldn't be the same. But like if you're tripping, like you're on a good trip.
It's like another drug. Like people get high, they have different reactions.
Yeah, and say you're looking at a patterned wallpaper, or here's a good example, like a marble countertop, not marble, granite.
Mm-hmm.
How it moves for me is as much in my experience isn't the same. It might be moving horizontally for me. It might be moving up and down for you, laterally for you.
So there's subtle differences.
But
you're
still experiencing, and that's where I think shrooms and some of those lessers give you an outlook, but it's not, there's levels. Yeah, like DMT is out of body where shrooms is still in your head.
Yeah.
And it's just you're able to access different parts. Like I said, if you like microdose, it's more than microdose, but still considered microdosing, where you're not like seeing that much of visual stuff. What you're able to pick up on talking to people, like how they're feeling, mannerisms, it's all here in the moment here. It's on Earth. And that's why people have like bad trips. Because if you're not with a good group or you get put into a bad mindset, you can freak out. You can freak out. You can have a bad trip. But if you're with good people and you're in a good mindset, like where you're taking things in is different, and it affects the eyes, obviously. So you can see things, but like when you listen to people talk and you hear stories, like that's the best thing to do on them, is just talk like we're doing now. And tell stories and
rather than going crazy.
And you pick up what people are saying on another level. Like I'm not hearing the words so much that are coming out of your mouth. I'm more, where it might not always be true, I'm pulling from what I know of you and your mannerisms and everything, and I'm putting it into your story. Maybe some people are very good at that in general, but like that's the best way I can describe it, is like
aware.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're so much like, oh, like, yeah.
But you see that DMT is very different though. Like, not
it's
that
out
I've
of
done
body.
it, but like from my just research looking into it, yeah. Even like certain drug trials that are going on now, they even tell you compared to psilocybin, DMT is very intense. So you have to be aware. They want you to come in the night before because they need to make sure that you're in a good state of mind before they give you the dose. So they're already aware of what it does. Then the other couple things. One is that, if I remember right, they were already doing trials where they were drip dosing people with DMT to keep them in this field so that they can literally map out the realms that they're going to. So that shows you that this is a consistent place
How
that
do
they're
I
going
how do
back
I
to.
sign up for this?
No idea. Then the
Well,
other
they're
thing,
using.
go on, sorry.
My bad. Go ahead. No, go ahead,
But it's just
Quest.
the
Sorry,
last thing
I
I was
didn't want
going
to
to
interrupt.
say, yeah, is some of this is proven and unproven. But the proven things is that they found DMT in small amounts in our brain, lungs, and blood. And this is produced naturally.
Mhm.
They think it has a role in our dreaming, which I would
Mhm.
say makes sense because that's basically what you do when you astral project. It's almost like a dream.
I think
or
your body
lucid dreaming.
releases it in sleep.
Exactly. And a study in rats found a specific amount of spike of DMT in the brain at death. And they haven't been able to prove it in humans, which I assume is because they haven't had people to do the testing.
Seeing the
But that
light
would
and
make
stuff.
sense why people say they think certain realms of the DMT realm is where you go when you die. And if you get banned, what happens if you die?
And I think I wanted that's exactly where my comment was leading. Is I was going to touch on how they started using that stuff to treat veterans with PTSD. And there was a study around me where they were using it for like depression, anxiety, and stuff. And I had signed up, but I got cold feet and I backed down. But
it is microdosing.
you can
It's not tripping.
It
It's a
is.
microdose.
Nah, the
Yeah.
But you
DMT
can
one,
find
you will trip in trials.
you
They'll
can
tell you it's
find
very visual.
you can find the Sean Ryan interview. He did it. He did the one for PTSD, and he said that he's 100% confident that when he dies, that is what he will experience. He said he knows.
So they're not microdosing when they're doing these.
No,
I
no.
figured it was.
The one he did, and it might have been for like special operators, something like that, because they probably have more access and stuff. But the one he did, he said he is confident that when he dies, he that is what he's going to experience.
This was DMT.
Okay, yeah, that's not. So like mushrooms, that's a big thing.
Something like that.
Like
Okay.
with psilocybin, it's they're doing more and more studies where it's so good for your brain. And like I'm talking very microdosing. You're not, it's none of that. It's just putting it into your brain at low levels to where, I mean, there's so much research on it now, and there's only going to be more and more that what it does to your brain. Like it fires shit. It's just good for the brain. I don't know, abusing it, like using it to trip if it's good for the brain. And it was another video too. Sorry, me and Quex, I think we're watching it where I do believe this is where, with my experience with other hallucinogens, where something like DMT could cause a break, where there is a possibility where someone could do DMT and have a psychotic break.
Yeah.
And could come out on the other side seriously. But I think that again is mindset, and that again is
a definite risk though.
And I think that again is in just personal realization. Like when you're going into this supposed realm, I mean, I say supposed because I haven't been there, and you're getting this information, it could break the brain. It's just like people have psychotic breaks when, at any point in history, someone came to the realization that, oh, whatever, God is real, or that what they've been taught their whole life is fake, or that, there's any levels of it to weaker or stronger minds that can cause, I mean, grape or anything, any traumatic experience has been known to possibly trigger a thing in our brain, which is so crazy about humans, to where we have a psychotic break, and you can never be the same after it. And that's the only thing, like, where I'm comfortable with shrooms and I love them, and I think I have the mindset in the where I would be comfortable doing DMT, but also where it scares me a little, because, you know, I
Yeah.
deal with, I think, certain levels of anxiety and depression, just how I see the world, like how
Yeah.
people are so okay with everything. And it's like, no, like this isn't fucking right. Like none of this is
Right.
fucking right to me. Like credit, like this shit, like it could be so easy and people could be so happy living to survive on any extent. Like, oh, credit, not a thing. Oh, you need to pay taxes, like, and I get there's reasons to taxes, don't get me wrong, people, but
Not
it,
at this level, though.
yeah, and it's just that's where, you know, it's, yeah, I can
I
see.
get what you're saying. Like I kind of feel the same way, like with what you were just saying. But one thing I wanted to ask is, this is kind of the feeling I've had with no experience with this type of stuff. Do you feel that there's a chance that maybe this is something early humans had access to that maybe we've been cut off to?
Yeah,
And
100%.
I think there's, we could have been cut off to it through food, microplastics and stuff getting in our food and stuff like that. Or maybe it's spiritually. But, when
you're
you read
so
the
on point.
Bible,
You're so on point.
it feels like these people were much more in tune.
And that goes back to what I said. You know, I'll let you talk, Quex. I'm sorry, I get
No, you're good,
excited.
you're
I've been
good.
drinking a little too. Like the vegetable body that he talks about, Mark Booth. That you know, that's what it is, and that's what it's all been by design. That, you know, clearly our brains have potential that I feel like through numbing we've been separated from. Like
Yeah.
clearly there's so much ability, and there's some research, but like, you know, twins, a son and their mother early on, like all this shit, that there's clearly this connection that I think was there. It was like we all had this shit originally. Like maybe that's why language wasn't such a big thing, because what was the point of fucking talking?
Didn't need it.
And now through guided, I feel my conspiracy side, that through the centuries and millennia we've been pulled away from that, because you couldn't control someone who can do that. You can't control us if we can do that. It's like, no, you're
They have
lying.
this higher understanding that they know to
Yep.
be above us and they
Yep.
know to be true.
Yeah.
What you can't, any worldly explanation to them
Yep.
is nothing.
Yep.
Fact.
You can't charge us taxes. We know when you're lying. We know you're evil. We know, okay, let's separate them from that. Okay, now we don't know. Now, again, I always say it, we're sheep. We're eating our grass and just living our life. Like, because there's got to be something more. That's my biggest thing. I think anyone with a brain and anyone
There's
with
no way this is it.
a
Nah,
consciousness,
there's
yeah,
definitely
like there's,
something more.
we're meant for more. Like we're meant to be, whether it's in you know, why I like our group, we are more to each other. We're very,
Mhm.
I think, for even friends living on, you know, in Ohio, in Georgia, in the UK, we managed to keep a connection and be there. And I think there's that in certain people, there's that understanding to where there is something more. We're not just sheep with our head down eating grass. Okay, we're next to each other, but it doesn't matter. No, we're meant to connect. We're meant to be more. And when I say that, I don't want it to be like, oh, we're meant to cure cancer, or we're meant to do that. No, we're meant to be more to each other. We're meant
Yeah,
to
we're meant to have interpersonal.
exactly.
This.
Yeah. And again, I think they're more steering us away from it, where, you know, me and you can argue, Jordan, and, you know, like me and Quex haven't ever really, Quex argues with a lot of people, but me and him are pretty aligned, but also,
To be fair, me and have never really butted heads.
yeah, we've never really gone at it, and he's gone at it with a lot of people. But, you know, me and you have gone at it plenty of times, just on different views on things, but we don't ever.
You've been right every time.
Yeah, no, you've been wrong every time. But it's not like, you know, we can be like, all right, good game, and
Yep.
tomorrow it's fine, and
That's
it's
it.
not awkward, it's not
Yeah.
nothing. It's just like, yeah, well, okay, like, and we've
That's
lost
the end of
that.
it.
We've lost that as people.
Yeah.
Everyone is so individualized. Everyone is so specializing their character that people think they just need to be so dug in and so like, okay, you think different. That doesn't mean, and I'm going on a huge tangent here. I'm sorry. I'll let you guys talk. But you mentioned it the other day. There is certain beliefs where, yes, we are incompatible to an extent. But I like to think, even though I do hold that belief too, Jordan, like there is certain things as unless you change because you are, I shouldn't say a bad person, but at least unless you change your beliefs, like I think I am good enough to know where even if we disagree on some things, we can be okay. But if you are just way off in right field, I know not to engage. I know we cannot be friends. But I think at a certain point, there was never that disconnection. Whereas, like, that was never there.
And I've met people, and Quex, I know you had a point to make, so I'll make this very brief.
No, you're good.
I've met people like that in my life. We knew a dude in Hawaii. His name started with an H. I met him, and I knew
Me too.
immediately
Yeah.
this guy is a fucking scumbag, and I will never be this guy's friend. There are people like that. But outside of people like that who you get that vibe from, and maybe certain people aren't in tune to, maybe people can't get that vibe, but I can. I can get a vibe for a scumbag real quick.
Yes.
And for those are very seldom, but I know them immediately.
Yes.
I got out of the army and I got my job working in a manufacturing plant. I got that vibe from one of the guys immediately. And my vibe was right. He's a fucking scumbag. So like there is something to
But
that.
do you
And maybe
believe they can
most people
change?
aren't. No,
Say that again.
they've never shown me
I
that they
said, do you
can.
think they can change? They haven't shown it. And maybe that's one of my shortcomings is I've always felt that unlike you in this given example and in others, you are way more upfront, right? Like you are me, I don't want to bother. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I'll threaten to go to somebody's house.
Yeah, exactly. Me, it's just to me, it's just like, okay, whatever. I put them out of my mind.
I'm a hothead, is what you're saying.
No. I don't think it's always bad. I think more so, maybe there's parts of it that are bad, and I think there's parts of mine that are bad. Is to where sometimes too much, I'm like, you're not worth the issue. Whereas, I could maybe check these people and maybe give them an outlook. But to me, I think it's more of, I mean, I know to an extent sometimes I'm a people pleaser. And it's just like, whether it's I don't want to deal with you or I just would rather not have, like keep this, how I was with him, like keep it like, oh, hey,
Right.
what's up? Like, and laugh. But like, would I ever hang out with him? Would I ever
Not a
talk to
chance.
him? Not a fucking chance.
And I told that dude straight to his face. I told him, I said, I would never, because another dude we knew used to let him watch his kids. And I told him to his face, I said, I would never trust you with my children, ever.
Well, that
And
whole group was.
Yes. And that's a thing with me personally. I have always been that type of person. When
I know.
feel there's confrontation, I'm just going to get in.
Well, that's why,
Like,
that's why I liked you originally. Like
Yeah.
we didn't really talk. We were on Rear D and like I'm like that with everyone. And I think it was, you said something to me or you did something and I was like, all right, like this guy's morals are straight. But yeah, it's another.
And we can have a whole nother conversation on that, but I want to let Quex make his point before I get off the tangent on morals in the
when we
army.
get Quex talking,
Honestly,
this
don't even
dude.
remember.
fucking-
I think I just had a point with something that was being spoken about before, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Yeah,
but
you have
no,
to
you
deal
good,
with
you
us,
Sorry.
Quex.
I'm sorry, Quex.
If
Well,
you
let
can
me
get
ask you
Quex
guys a
rolling,
question.
dude, you're gonna be drooling on yourself because he'll start
Yeah,
going
bro.
and like, especially on when we get into again. I think in the future we should surface level, and we can go on our tangents as we always do. Like religion, you guys know my
Mhm.
thoughts on it. We've had plenty of talks. I know yours to an extent. Like I know. And I know you're both very knowledgeable. And what blew my mind, I know Ty should probably be involved too, because I never spotted it from him. Maybe because I never talk about it, but that dude just started pulling scripture out of his ass and everything. Like, not out of his ass, but like And I think
That would be a fun conversation, but we
Yeah.
got to set it up real
yeah,
quick.
yeah, I think we all are close enough but far enough apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, me and Quex have probably, I don't know how many hours we've talked in depth about it. Me and you, I know, just our relationship, we never were super, until more recently, super deep on religion. Everything else, being gay. I know you came out of the closet to me, Jay, but that wasn't off limits, but everything else.
For me, it's always been there. Like, it's just the
I
way I
know.
was raised.
Yep.
It's always been there. It's always been the foundation. Like, anytime I consider how does this play into this just spirituality to
It, and that's why we won't go too deep on it. But that's why, I've always known that about you. And that's part of the
Mhm.
reason why, I've not always, but since I've actually gotten to know you. But where
I'm also black pilled, so that's like not
Yeah.
good either. Like,
but also why
I
I
think
will
this
never,
world is ending.
well, I'll never say religion is a bad thing, because there's people like you who stay in those guidelines for the most part, except for liking boys.
Don't stop. Just stop.
But no, but someone who has that, kind of deep rooted belief in it.
Mhm.
Like I could never say, you might be an asshole, you might be a little gay, you might be these other things, but like
What is this? This is a fucking hit job the last 10 minutes.
but you're not a bad person, and you're like, I love you. And Quex might be AI, but he's still cool too.
He's way fucking cooler than you are.
I know. Trust me. I'm the first to admit it. Why do you think
Let
I
me
like
ask
him?
let me ask you guys a question. Because we're kind of getting,
We're
we're kinda
way off
talking.
AI now, but it's fine. It's the
Well,
end
I'm
of
gonna
the
bring it
All
back.
good.
I'm gonna bring it
Okay.
back. I'm gonna bring it back. Do you think, because again, this is what I think about when I think of everything like this. When I think of conspiracies, it always leads me back to eschatology. That's what it leads me back to. Do you think there's a way where AI plays? I'm sick of this guy. Why is everybody calling me fucking gay right now? I'm sick of this shit.
My man.
This is ridiculous. This is over. I'm
I
just
knew
kidding.
Stuart was a good
Do you
guy.
think he is a good guy? Do you think there's any way that AI plays a role when we think of eschatology, the end time stuff?
That's tough for me.
Quex, you're the most
Possible.
versed in it. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah. Let
Possible.
Quex talk.
Because conspiracy side, there is conspiracies of certain groups wanting to create some kind of AI-led state in a way, but it just depends on what they want to do with it. Because if they're gonna power a fucking hologram in the sky and have AI pretend to be some kind of divine being, then yeah, it's very well possible. But it could also be that it just plays a part in the mark of
Bringing
beast
out the
kind of
Messiah,
thing.
the false Messiah, that
Or
he's
that.
going to be the one that saves us from fucking AI doomsday. I am
think-
him.
Fuck's sake.
Do you think there could be a portion of it that is used for maybe good, though? Maybe there's a portion of it that is not allowed to be allowed to control by,
Well,
the-
it depends. It depends on how far AI gets. Because if it's like AI at, say, a near future, considering what it's at now, it can only really do so much. But if it gets to the point where we've got AI super intelligence and this shit is damn near conscious, it could, in a way, run and declare itself, I'm not an AI, I'm your god.
Well, that
You lot are gonna follow me now. And now this becomes from a flipping data center, turns into a place of worship for this flipping holographic.
Well, I know I proposed the question that if and leads into the good side, and where I don't think the good side, maybe it can aid good people in doing things. I don't think it's a biblical sense of the good side. More so, I think it could be biblical sense of the bad side. I can get into that. But on the good side, just for a second, is we don't have to get into it now, but like a truly sentient AI, truly like down. And I know I proposed this question to you guys. Does that mean it has a soul? Like if it's not now, it's not running off. I mean, technically it's still a program. I get it, but it is truly its own being. If one comes out, Ultron or Vision, does it have a
No,
soul?
I don't think so. It's tough though. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's where
because you know,
I know.
we put our we put our human understanding of things. Like, does a chicken have a soul? You know? Because a chicken, well, I've killed 200 chickens in a day before. Does a chicken have a soul?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
So who's to say?
yeah,
You know, that's a tough
exactly.
question.
Where do you draw the line at a soul? So not
Right,
every living being has a soul. A dolphin who is
right.
incredibly intelligent, that doesn't have a
Or
soul,
maybe,
but a chicken does have
maybe,
a soul.
maybe that could lead us into the thing to where we are special. Read the Bible. Animals were made for us.
Yep.
Animals were made for
No,
us.
I like that.
Right. We
I
were
like that.
supposed to care for them. We were supposed to take care of them.
They only fear us, remember, because of the flood. Before
Yeah.
that, animals, it's not that they'll be running away from, man.
Right.
And the other thing why I said, maybe for the bad is because when you think of, again, not a professional, but demonology and all of this stuff, it makes more sense that whether it is directly, say, like a demon or something, I don't think so much. But whether it's influenced and it just, by the definition of it and by like what I know of surface level, is that it more matches the definition of a demon,
But
of
Yes.
something evil.
And
she
here's
said
the thing
yeah.
that trips.
Sorry, go on, Jay.
I was just gonna say the thing that trips me out is when you have these guys who are in charge of it and they can't even lie. It's like
And that's
something
the end of days
controls
shit
them.
right there. They
It
can't lie.
controls them
Yep.
from being able to lie. You have Peter Thiel asked about the Antichrist, and he can't say no.
Well, I
Can't
mean,
say,
yeah.
no, I'm not creating the Antichrist. You have Sam Altman saying if humanity has a right to exist, and he can't just say yes. Like, even if you were a psycho supervillain, you would just say, yes, of
You would
course I
lie.
have a right to exist. Yes, you would just lie, but they can't do it.
Well, that goes into demonology and end of day shit, is that they
Yes.
cannot lie. They have to
can't
tell
lie.
you. Yeah. Like,
Yes.
This is only because you said demon, yeah. And what you was asking Jay before about AI and Antichrist. If you think of this is just something that literally just come to me now, but you think of paranormal investigations, right? What do they use? They use electronics, technology, and ghosts and spirits are able to interact with it. So this is just way out there because obviously it's gonna go into like Satan,
No, I'm about it.
demons,
Keep going.
angels, fallen angels. But there's been claims and stories where young children and certain people have interacted with AI, and the AI is claimed to be influenced by a Nephilim or claimed to be influenced by a demon. So what if at a certain point there are some kind of entity that's able to influence AI and then be like, yo, you motherfuckers are gonna go give me 30 children. Some
Yep.
Baal type shit.
Listen,
It's just,
So,
I'm scared myself.
I mean, the biggest thing at the end of the day, in particular to this conversation, I think unvetted, unchecked, unregulated growth of AI is only a bad thing. Like, and I've said
Yeah.
this, we need to find some way to stop it where it's at, or if you go further, me and Quex talked about this, it has to be in like a Faraday cage. It has to be in a completely fucking way, no phones in, no
nothing.
audio devices, no nothing. Because they've had things where it knows it can't. I think Quex brought it up. Can't communicate through Wi-Fi, internet, nothing. So it learns to communicate through sound.
Yeah, malware transmitting through sound. So if a
Through-
malware,
yeah,
can do
malware
that
through
years
sound,
ago,
like,
an AI could
so-
very easily do that and spread.
If they want to study that shit has to be in the deepest, darkest fucking bunker. Like, and it has to be. And I still don't support it. I still, even at that, I don't support it. I think we are near or at where the end state of AI should be. I don't think we need to go any further.
yes. 100%.
It
I
has
agree with that.
metadata, the ability to go through that. Like, I don't think we need any further.
No,
I
but
think
even then,
going
you're not
any
safe.
further is just messing with demonic shit.
And I think, to give my perspective on it, I think what you just said is great. I think, like, once we get to the point to where it can cure or has the ability to considerably help cure diseases, we've reached its max potential. It's time to shut it down. Because I see AI as the beast system. I don't see it as the Antichrist. I think that that is a person, that is a human being, but I see it as the beast system. And when I see these AI executives talking about, we're going to have to reconstruct society, we're going to have to implement, what's it called when everybody makes the same amount of money? I'm having a mind blank right here.
Jesus, me too. Universal income?
Universal income, standardized housing. That all screams AI, just beast system.
Yeah.
You have to have this to survive. You have to be in the system, all this type of stuff.
Yeah, that's where it goes beyond AI for me. It's more of the bigger
Yes.
agenda. It's more of the end of
Yes.
days shit to where, yeah.
But even
No,
to
I
be honest with you,
completely
by
agree.
that point, it's too late. Because
Yeah.
if AI
Oh,
is
100%.
able to
Yeah.
cure everything, you've got to remember that it's going to be very capable of creating pathogens and
Right.
stop you being able to cure it.
If it's building this metadata and being able to now it can do and take all this advice and all these clinical trials and be like, oh, here's something the humans cannot build an antivirus for quick enough, or their bodies there's no outlier. And I given that statistically on the science level isn't as, but like, listen, if there's 1,000 people left on Earth, we're not repopulating, we're dying. Plain and simple. Like, people, especially today, which is scary. Back in the, like, someone could traverse 1,000 miles over 2 years or whatever, and meet someone else and could go on that way. Today, not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chance. You take cars, you take navigation, you take all this away from most people in the world. They can't leave their fucking house. They might know their way around their town and some other places.
That's
Other
it.
than that, they're fucking lost. It's
Did
done.
you see Elon? He's going to stop producing all of his drivable cars. They have no steering wheel now. Everything he's coming out with here on forward has no steering wheel.
I said that
It is
earlier,
fully
Stuart. Yeah.
autonomous.
Yeah. No, keep going. Sorry.
But that's, I mean, the Wally comment is right though. Like, that's what they want. They want us all staying at home, just eating, fucking getting a basic income, getting fat as shit, don't know anything, and just these
I mean,
robots take care of
even
everything.
closer to where we're at. What is the one Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes? Demolition Man. Demolition Man. Yeah. What a great. But that's almost where we're fucking at. Because Taco Bell, if you have realized, is fucking taking over. Taco Bell, like, I don't know why. Besides the early 2000s, I haven't seen Taco Bell commercials and Taco Bell out there like I do today. It's crazy. I see Taco Bell shit. I mean, I love Taco Bell, but I see it all the fucking
it's a
time.
shit.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, yes, I think more so than anything, it's not a good thing. And it couldn't be used as a good
Can't
thing.
fucking win.
What are they talking?
Yeah,
They call me fucking gay again.
Yeah, well, he's right. So
this is ridiculous. I don't have to put up with it.
Technology is moving crazy though. So even TV shows like Altered Carbon.
Great show.
That show,
Great
they're basically transferring consciousness on chips.
Yep.
They're
I
really
mean, Black
talking about doing that
Black
kind of
Mirror
thing now.
did that shit. Yeah.
Saving the state of your brain and being able to transfer it to another chip.
I think we're at a stage to where we can't slow it down now.
Well, I think we're at the tipping point just now. Like, people,
I think we might be past it.
Maybe, but
if you look at it when we were kids, we were talking about this on the last episode. Quex, I'm not sure how old you are, but we grew up in a time where
he's older than you.
You couldn't make phone calls and be on the internet at the same time.
Yeah, you hear The Exorcist.
And now we're not even middle-aged, and I can do anything I want from this.
You can
Anything. I can live stream,
call,
anything I
FaceTime,
want.
everything at the same damn time.
I still remember the first video phones, how big they were, just to be able to flip in, record a video.
You remember the Razor?
Yeah.
The Razor was revolutionary, and you could only take a 30-second video.
Yep. Well, that's what I'm saying. Everything, and that's what's scary. It's exponential. Like when you look at from the 40s, from when we first
we still can't land on the moon.
When we first found Antarctica,
No,
right?
we've definitely been there.
When we first were really discovering Antarctica, everything has been exponential, and it's just going to keep going that way.
You think we took the technology from Antarctica?
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Fucking Admiral Byrd went up there. The Nazis went up there. Why do you think Project Paperclip was so big? Because we realized Admiral Byrd realized, oh shit, the Nazis were here, and we took them because they knew so much from Antarctica, more than we knew before we were kicked out. And we said we need to bring them over here, and now they came over here. And then think of how many escaped to South America, China, all these other places. China.
Fuck's sake.
There you have it.
Yeah, 100%. I was already suspicious.
I'm not sold on it.
Nah, I was already suspicious, yeah. But there's a
You
documentary
think we
I
went
watched
or
the
we
other
didn't
day.
go?
No, they went.
Okay.
I'm convinced they went now, yeah.
Me too.
And
I mean,
the documentary that I watched, it shows a lot of things on the moon that was seen before, yeah. And it's basically saying that the story of them going there and seeing ships land up on the outside of a crater and then being warned off might actually hold some weight.
I think that's more
And
logical.
the documentary has a lot of images and footage and people talking about things that hasn't necessarily just
I
come
think
to light.
Again, another conversation. We can go there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The firmament speaking that it's just over Earth, I don't think is I just don't. Like, I think, I mean, a low Earth orbit, like
Yeah.
Starlink, the things we have, and when you look at the night sky, like, and they are satellites, guys. Like, come on, they're not fucking alien spacecrafts. Like, they're not in our atmosphere. I think that maybe there is a firmament, but I don't think it's just over Earth. I think it's further out there. I think it's
good.
You know, it's a larger thing. I just too much of the actual Earth landing, Earth moon landing, like in the 60s or whatever it was. I think that was, maybe they went there, but the footage was bullshit.
This would make sense.
Okay. Yeah. See, that makes more sense to me. That, like, I get the argument of it all. I understand it, and I do, and I like, again, I am a pretty open person, just with everything, and it's just the firmament right around Earth. I just don't think that's it. I think the firmament might be real, but it's further out there.
Maybe that's what we do on the next episode. We do a moon episode.
Yeah, we can do that.
I like that.
That would be fun.
Before we do that, I'll show you guys this documentary as well, because it will definitely give some points that we'll want to bring up.
Yeah. No, I
All
like
right.
that. Maybe Wednesday we do a moon, and if Quex and
That would be
Ty are
fun.
available, we get all of us in here and roll with it. I mean, this has been good. I know I talked a lot. I'm sorry, but this
No, you're
this
good.
was a
It's okay.
subject kind of close to home, and
The moon is cheese, actually.
I mean, the moon is hollow too.
That's true.
The moon is a spacecraft. That's how the original humans got here. All right.
And the thing saying that, I don't even remember. I need to figure out exactly.
Just
what
look
it
at
was.
Titan in Jupiter. It's another spacecraft.
Any closing statements on AI before we end it? Because if we keep going, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to start getting into the moon and how ancient.
No, I think we should end it. We've been over.
I've had so many of them thoughts. I'm trying to hold off on mentioning.
Yeah, me
just
too.
yet.
Me too. We've been on.
I'm gonna go off.
We've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I agree.
This has been great.
Yeah, no, the free conversation
good.
at the end is always really good. I think AI unchecked, I think almost, I've said it multiple times this episode, I think AI should stop where we're at. Maybe a little further, but it doesn't need to go for the betterment
Like another
of
year of development.
for the betterment of humans. If that's what you're into, it should stop. We still need human creativity. We still need all this shit. The further advancement of AI is only a bad fucking thing. It's only bad. That's it. I'm done.
Lex, you got anything?
Yeah, but it's a clip.
Okay, I like it. Ending with a, yeah.
AI.
Jesus, this guy is AI. What the fuck?
All the things that the human
This
brain
is
can
a
do.
Swedish philosopher.
Then that includes, as a special case, the process of inventing stuff. So doing scientific and technological research. One of the things the human brain can do. And so when AI can do everything the human brain can do, it can also then do the inventing and the discovery and the design and engineering. And if, as I believe is the case, that shortly after we have machines that can do everything that the human brain can do, we will have machines that can do it much better and much faster. Then we face a kind of obsolescence in the intellectual space. And in particular, I think we can expect to see a dramatic increase in the rate of technological progress at that point, when the progress is being driven by these super intelligences.
It's basically
Once
saying that
AI
human,
succeeds,
it's saying human creativity basically becomes meaningless at that point, because AI is going to be doing it all and be doing it much better than us.
That's been my, yeah. What about you, Jay?
I kind of fall on your explanation. I think we've pretty much, for me, we have reached the point to where we have maximized its usefulness in my outlook on civilization. I don't want to see it go any further than where it's at. I don't want to see it creating art. I don't want to see it writing books. It's where it needs to be. It can go a little bit further. I could see its usefulness in the medical fields, as far as like finding and being able to cure diseases, and possibly being able to help with future diseases that we haven't even experienced before. But at the same time, if it gets to that point, are we also not in a scenario to where it could help create the fucking things?
And it probably
a-
already is.
Exactly.
And I think we can agree maybe that it just came to me while you were talking that it should always remain as a tool, not as an equal, not as an equal or higher. It should be kept as a tool, as something we use to help in our decisions, but not make our decisions or not make decisions.
And that's the problem, is it has got to the point to where it is making decisions.
Yeah.
It's making targeting decisions for the military.
That shit's crazy. Yeah.
We can't allow that. You have to keep the human interaction. But I'm done talking. I'll let you guys close it out, and then
That's it.
Yeah.
I think that was a great closeout. I think, Quex, do you have anything to add?
Nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was dope. Thanks for watching,
All right.
guys.
Well, we
You
appreciate
guys,
everybody watching. We'll be back Wednesday. Quex, thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for watching.
man. Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
Yeah,
We'll talk
Stuart,
to you guys
keep
later.
calling Jay gay. Thanks.
He's getting kicked. He's getting banned. Talk to you guys later.